you hear the rhythm, start to move.
Good, Mick. I think you definitely should be in this this whole campaign with your abilities. So, looking forward to that.
That's the thing. We're a few years into this Carlton Draft thing, but what is happening is the players are starting to get. I thought they'd run out, right? But tonight, listen to the names: Pavlich, handy player; Deledio, handy player; Travis Cloke, handy player; Will Schofield, premiership player. So it's all looking really, really good in terms of what's on the agenda tonight. I've missed one. Who have I missed, Flannigan? I'm testing you here.
We have missed.
Because we're going to do a fan draft soon, and it's the top 5.
Clokey? No, we said Clokey.
The big Pavlich, Schofield, Deledio.
And the Hawk.
Big Tomahawk.
The big Hawk.
Who is the most recently retired, and in my opinion, I don't want to go early on my fan draft, but the most credentialed of the lot.
Yeah.
And has played recently down at up at Finley. So some local club form there. So tonight, a big shout out to the clubs, lads, that have nominated this year for the Carlton Draft in terms of Beaufort Footy Clubs. They are the Crows, Beverley Football Club from WA, Colliambly Footy Club in the Riverina in New South Wales, Heathney Footy Club in Victoria, the Magpies, and Hill End and Grove Rovers Football Club, the Rovers there in Victoria. Now, what is special about this year's Carlton Draft compared to the ones gone previously? Fully national. So we've got WA representation, we've got New South Wales representation and Victoria representation, and representatives tonight here at the Sporting Globe in Richmond from every club. So a big shout out to them for getting along, and they'll pick up their player, parcel them up nicely, and take them back to Thursday night training very shortly. So let's get a quick word on the players. in terms of the five that we've got Matthew Pavlich, Travis Cloke, Will Schofield, Tom Hawkins, and our very own at Clubby Sports, Brett Deledio, who is a little bit nervous. He was here early tonight to try and get in front of the clubs, to try and get some opportunity to express why he should be a high draft pick. But give me your takeaways. Who do you think in terms of on field right now can provide the most?
Well, you'd think the Hawk. He's fresh out of the game, and as long as the team that he goes to can get the ball down to him a few times, he's sure to kick 5, 6, 10, you would have thought.
5, 6, 10, you reckon?
Yeah.
How much do we think the clubs are looking for the off-field package versus the on-field? Because there's a great opportunity for these clubs to raise a bit of money over the bar and have a bit of fun with the after-match event. So I think you want a good mix, I reckon, with the player.
I think you're exactly right there in terms of when AFL clubs go to the draft, right? They sit down, they see the tape. They see what's in front of them in terms of kicks, marks, handballs, ground balls. It's the character piece. And they get them one-on-one or 3-on-1 recruiters to players, and they start to think, what can you bring us in terms of culture? What's your standards like off the field? I think our clubs here tonight might be looking for a standard different off the field, maybe potential to really entertain the crowd, maybe later at night, get around the locals, dip some money in terms of whatever the fundraising looks like. So you're right, on-field important, off-field very important as well. If you were to go with those 5 names, we'll go to your fan draft soon, but off the field, those 5 names, who are we putting at the top of the tree?
Well, actually ran into Scully at Gather Round a couple of weeks ago. He's in very good form at the Cumbie until well past bedtime. So I'm assuming that he'll be pretty good on the scene after the game.
Being a defender on the field, that kind of hurts him in terms of, I think, where he might end up going. But
a lot of these
the after-hour stuff is important.
And a lot of these teams are leaking a lot of goals, so a big key defender.
I worry Lids might not necessarily give as much off the field. we know when he goes to a function, he likes to get in and get out, doesn't he?
We've loosened him up a bit.
You have, in fairness.
We've loosened him up a little bit, but he's still pretty tightly strung, the big fella. But just want to reiterate, tonight is presented by Carlton Draft and Carlton Dry, and they've been a great supporter of the Carlton Draft, clearly, over the number of seasons that it's been in vogue. So really looking forward to sampling a couple of their products across the night, but also on the days and the products and the merch that we're wearing will all be available when these players get out to the local clubs and get amongst it. Fan drafts. Right, so I think we might jump straight into the fan drafts. And how do you want to do this? Do you want to go
bottom to top or top to bottom?
I think we just all commit to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we just, as I say go, we say our number 1 draft pick.
Okay.
All right? That's as simple as it's going to be. I put a lot of thought into this.
Okay.
So on go,
I like it.
Your number 1 draft pick.
Yep.
Or do we work 5 down to 1?
Up to you, mate.
We've got Mac in the back here today, who we love at Clubby Sports. Should we go 5 down to 1 or 1 up to 5? 5 to 1.
5 to 1 up to 1. Build some suspense.
On go, reveal your number 5 draft pick. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Brett Deledio.
Will Schofield.
He's going with Brett Deledio. Clubby Sports very own.
Clubby Sports' very own 275-game superstar for the Tigers and the Giants. But as I said before with Scully, the key defender, I think, may be really important to some of these clubs. Have been leaking a lot of goals, and a 38-year-old halfback flanker with slightly dodgy calves may not be at the top of the priority list. But
and the after-hours stuff, I think, you pushed him back to the end, off the back of his early exit.
So someone was going to be stiff at pick 5,
Yeah.
so I've gone with Brett.
So I've gone with Schofield for the fact that he's a key defender. So he's a key defender, local footy. The turnstiles don't usually click from my experience, being a country lad from up in Shepparton. I can't remember any of the country fullbacks when I was coming through when I was a junior. I remember all the full forwards, Brenton Cooper, Matty Four Eyes, Nathan Eagle. Fullbacks? 0.
No.
So Will Schofield 5th for mine.
Exactly the same reasoning as why I had Will there. But I'd like to think maybe he could throw himself into the ruck. I think that would be, I don't know in the history of the Carlton Draft whether any of the players have said, no, actually, I'll go into the ruck. Because I think he can go in there, win a few centre bounce. He's quite tall, so back at local footy, I think he can definitely dominate in there. Plenty of fists going back if he needs to plug a hole and mark the footy behind the ball.
Ruckman at local footy. incredibly important. I think at AFL level they start to question what the purpose of a ruckman is, in particular our very own Dylan Buckley. But local level, they are needle shifters. All right, on go again, pick number 4. 3, 2, 1, go.
Brett Deledio.
Brett Deledio, Schofield.
Schofield.
So not much marrying up here in terms of...
So a bit of variety.
Yeah, very, very much so. So Schofield, go for it. Why?
Well, as just touched on by the both of you, great defender and can swing into the ruck. Good man on the sesh after the game, and I think he could go forward as well. He's played on all the best forwards for the last 20 years, so he knows where to run. I reckon they could swing him forward and he could kick a couple.
Yeah.
Yep. Brett won't be happy with this because he's a former number 1 draft
I'm
pick.
going to jump in there. I was thinking Brett, but I know he's going to hear this.
Yes.
And quite pissed off.
Yeah, I know. But I'm worried about one. Pure athletes back at local level. The game's not as fast. They can't use all their ability and their natural attributes. He's going to have to win some hard ball. I just question where his mindset is at.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about the calves as well.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the career ended due to that.
Yeah.
So, Brett, if his mindset is right, wins his own ball, he could be best on, but he could also be a bust.
So I'm on with Travis Cloke purely for the smoke and shadows behind the screen curtain, or the screen, whatever
The windows?
saying is. The windows?
I believe so.
And that was it. I heard that the other day. It made me smile. I don't know what I was listening to, but heard that from Travis. He's looking strapping. I just saw him roll in to Sport and White here in Richmond, and I see him in the pink there for the Essendon Football Club on the weekends. Still looking strapping, but I think he's a bit top heavy. Not through anything outside of doing a lot of weights. So a bit top heavy, won't be able to get up and down the ground. Right, pick number 3. We will go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Travis Cloke.
Deledio. Right, so
Cloke.
Cloke. Fire away, lads.
Well, the big fella, as you said, a bit top heavy, but he'll just thrash around those local defenders. Would have thought over 550 goals for the Dogs and the Pies, and those clubs need a few of those goals. I reckon he'll get the glove out and he'll juke a few, and he'll be dobbing them from 55. So big Clokey to have a big one.
He's played local footy last year, so I actually feel like he's in better nick.
Where's he played?
He played up at Witcherproof, up in the North Central Football League. So he has been playing footy, and I just think the package off field as well. A Collingwood Premiership player, father, son. He'll be really good. He's a big draw card, big forward. So I've gone Clokey at 3.
I've gone Deledio. I think I've left Pavlich and Hawkins out there at the moment, so they're going to be 2 and 1. The big key forwards, 2 of the greatest to ever do it, in my humble opinion, as key forwards. So I can't see them slipping outside the top 2. And Deledio, he's got some form at the moment going back to local food. Went back to Tongala recently.
How'd he go?
Underwhelming. Very underwhelming. The locals, I think, to his face, were actually quite accommodating, but behind his back, which we love at local footy clubs, behind the back stuff, shit ass. He was just poor Brett. So he's still a top 3 pick, and number 3. Clearly he's number 3 in our hearts, on the back there at Richmond, and in the Dally line. So
Yes, very good.
Brett Deledio, number 3.
Like that.
Pick number 2. In 3, 2, 1.
Matthew Pavlich.
Pavlich, all around. Fire away, Flanners.
Yeah, well, by the look of things, all these teams need a bit of leadership on field, and Freo's greatest ever leader and greatest ever player, greatest captain. He'll be a great asset to any of these teams. And
Present company exclusive, obvious.
he can play anywhere, Pav. He can go forward, go full back. He's won All-Australian at full back. Centre half forward, he can go in the ruck, go in the midfield.
Yeah, All-Australian, all spots, so unbelievable. So the fact that he's 2, remarkable pattern.
Yeah, I agree with Flanners. I've got him at 2. I think he's the ultimate package. He could come out of the goal square. He could take the kick-ins, be there in the centre bounces. I think he's an attractive, well-spoken man too. I think the females will get around Pav.
The only 3, by the way. I don't know.
Yes. I know, but ticket sales but I do worry. Can the club accommodate the tape requests on the shoulders, heavily taped up?
Oil, he's big oil.
And the oil, yes,
So
you would know.
Pavlich, all the things that you've just said, but geez, he uses charisma. So I think having him in the rooms, in terms, he won't actually have to give much to actually have people just swoon over him and actually be unbelievably impressed by who Matthew Pavlich is. So number 2. So we've all gone Tom Hawkins number 1 for the reasons of.
Well, he's just a big hawk, 3-time premiership player, big hulking superstar from the Cats. He'll thrash around anyone who tries to come near him. I wonder how he's going to go. He's such a professional and demands a lot of his kickers kicking the ball down. I wonder how he's going to go with the local footballers, shooting him over his head or down at his ankles.
Pato, what do you think? Goal, assist or goals? Which mindset were we going with?
We'll need to ask him this later, because we know the Cats side of the last 20 years love their goal assist comps because they were that stacked. Stevie J and Mooney and Stokesy and all those types. We need Tomahawk just to have eyes for the goals.
Yep. So Tomahawk, we've all gone with number one. Now, Clubby Sports owner Brett Deledio, I think we need to spend a little bit more time on him before we throw to the main room and get this draft started. Best and worst case scenario for him. What do you think the best case scenario is for Brett?
Oh, well, it depends what position they're playing. I think...
you've got to put him around the ball. So don't coach him. Just put him around the ball, put your best players around the ball.
Yeah, I think if for Brett, you'd want... What's the pass mark? Is it 25 or 30 touches? They do take the stats, so we will know the stats. Yeah. I think for him, dashing, I want to see Brett bouncing the ball. That was his go back in the day.
Meters games. So
use your speed.
I want to see him set up a couple. I'd like to see some goal assists, some score involvements, and maybe some scoreboard impact, hit the scoreboard.
Yeah, so I'm thinking you've given the best. I think meters game, let's get some ball in his hand, let's hit the scoreboard. I don't want to be that guy, but knock on wood, this doesn't happen. Worst case, we've seen it a couple of times in the Carlton Draft, injuries early.
Yes.
In our next segment, we'll go to the top three, bottom three performers across Carlton Draft history.
But they were quick, weren't they?
We've had injury and calf issues and conundrums have been evident for Brett Deledio. So let's just knock on wood, everyone, just that he can get through a full game and provide some sort of benefit to the clubs that picks him, because if he doesn't, he'll be copping a lot of grief on the Footy and Friends podcast as we go. So getting very close to heading up to the main room. We've got Johnny Brown tonight, Johnny Brown as the commissioner, and our very own Dylan Buckley as a recruiter. I'm interested to see how that process works with Dylan.
Yes.
Have you heard much about
it? What role has he played in getting these 5 guys?
That's a great question.
Because his main task was to go and get Dusty, and obviously he's failed. So.
Has he left anyone out there? So Dusty is left completely out there.
Who else was out there last year that retired?
That's a good question. I'm just drawing memory blanks right now. But I think he's got a great lineup. Let's not disregard the lineups we've got at the moment.
Joel Selwood, maybe.
Deledio, Cloke, Schofield. Selwood's been out a couple of years, haven't quite been able to get him. Dustin Martin, one of the greatest of all times, hasn't been able to get
Lance
him.
Franklin.
Yes, buddy. Yes.
So they're adding up now. So his recruiting role is pretty poor. So we're going to throw up to the main room where we're waiting on Johnny Brown, Dylan Buckley, to take the night over and get the pick started.
Australian, he's a Hall of Fame inductee, he's kicked a lot of goals, and he's our commissioner, Mr. Jonathan Brown. Please welcome.
Thank you. A few other awards you missed out on there, Dill. We'll get to yours shortly, but we can watch the 2002 Mark of the Year later on the big screens. There's plenty of TVs around, boys, when we enjoy some of the beverages from Carlton Draft, which will be magnificent. And please put your hands together for this year's expert recruiter, Dylan Buckley.
Thank you.
Now, obviously, Dill's footy stats aren't as strong as mine, but he did play 41 games over the journey for Carlton and GWS. How many games in the reserves, mate?
Oh, probably 300.
300 games in the reserves. So he understands what it's like. He's used to grassroots football. He's used to fighting. He's used to showing spirit and used to coming from behind the 8 ball. So that's what it's all about, helping out these local clubs and helping out the clubs that maybe haven't done as well on the field with success of recent times. Much similar to Dill's footy career, eh?
Sorry. I don't think they like it. No, it's not funny, guys.
Sorry, I should move on. But I tell you where Dill's absolutely dominated, in his podcast. Who listens to podcasts out here? Dylan Friends. How good's that been? Dylan Friends. Everyone listen to Dylan Friends podcast? Absolutely. Just shy of 10 million downloads now. Can you believe that? 10 million downloads. Just behind Brownie's podcast, I think, Till, isn't it? If you just go and check the numbers. Actually, don't check the numbers. It's part of this successful media company, Producing Clubby Sports Podcast Network. Fantastic. We can't wait for the night. It's going to be a great night. Dill, we've got all the clubs here. We're going to introduce the clubs. We're going to introduce the players. And obviously, Carlton Draft's putting on a fantastic show. So enjoy their hospitality tonight.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's a big night. It's a big night, and we're just so excited to see these local clubs and some absolutely fantastic players, which we'll introduce shortly, to get there and absolutely dominate. And that's what it's all about, Brandy. Getting back and playing some good footy with some incredible clubs, good people. That's what it's all about.
What was your club?
Tura. The Tura Magpies.
The Tura
actually in the same league here as Hill End.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
too. That's right. The Gippsland, what's it called? The Gippsland League?
Yeah.
Mid Gippsland League,
Tell
absolutely.
you what, it's cold out there.
It's cold
Yeah,
out there.
it's cold
Bloody
out there.
oath. It'll be cold by the
It's
time
cold.
the boys get out there. Just
It
check
is.
the. See how we go. Got hot showers for the boys because we've
Yeah.
got a couple of prima donnas along here.
Yeah.
So
Because if you get Brett, he likes to shower in his jocks. Is that all right? He showers in his jocks. Yeah. And Tomahawk needs 2 showers because he's a big boy. So we'll wait for him. But
I was a double jock man.
yeah.
See how confident I was over the journey. I'm a South Warrnambool Roosters boy too, Dill. So the mighty Roosters and the Hampton League back in Warrnambool. So we've won the last 2 premierships. So clearly they're not part of the Carlton Draft this year because they're going pretty good. But it's great that we all come from grassroots footy, don't we?
We do. All right, before we get into it, ladies and gentlemen, we'll introduce the clubs. We'll learn a little bit more about them and then the players as well. But before we do, a little bit of housekeeping. The toilets are just up the back, which is fantastic. So if you need to do that, you should go there and do it. Don't do it in your seats. That'd just be really weird. The bar just over there to my left, your right, which is huge. So fill yourselves up. It's all on Carlton Draft tonight. And then thirdly, there'll be some cameras around. Make sure when the streams are on and the drafts are getting picked, if we can just sit in our seats and then get drinks in between would be great just for the video. Don't want to mess that up, which would be fantastic.
Beautiful. And firstly, I want to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people, the land that we stand on here tonight, that we can enjoy our festivities. So they're the traditional owners of this land that we gather on today. I also want to welcome some special guests that we have in the room tonight. Firstly, our fantastic clubs that are taking part in this year's Carlton Draft. 5 local footy clubs. Round of
Let's
applause.
go.
I'll introduce you all one by one as we go through. But I want to get to the players first of all. I just saw 5 iconic names that have all played top-level footy, clearly. Otherwise, you wouldn't want them in your bloody team. How about these accolades? 1,437 games, 2,167 goals, 23 times club-leading goal kickers, 13 All-Australian team nods, and 5 AFL Premiership players, AFL Premiership medals. That's fantastic. Round of applause for the players.
Well done.
And I tell you what, Dill, they're pretty handy off the field as well. They're not shy of a camera or a microphone, are they?
No, they're not.
Very good. Clearly the rehearsals went well, didn't they, big fella? Away you go.
All right, see you, mate. Let's get it started. All right, let's get into our players. No, you're doing the clubs, mate. That's why I was rattled.
Oh, sorry. You've already done that bit. That's right. We got through all that shit. So, righto, I'm going to go to the clubs. Okay, we're going to spend a little bit of time on getting to know all of our clubs. Rightio. Our first club is the Beaufort Football Club. How good, the Beaufort Footy Club.
What
Where
are they?
are
The Crows? Are they, Brownie? What are you guys? The Crows?
The Crows? The mighty Crows.
Right,
That's
the Crows.
145 years young too. How good's that? Established in 1880, back when boots were leather and moustaches were mandatory. Now, I tell you what, it's not the only thing going in Beaufort. They've also got the Beaufort Car and Truck Show. How good's that? Who's been to the Beaufort Car and Truck Show?
Yeah, I went there once. It was great.
It beats the Geelong Truck and Machinery Show, that's for sure. Sets them apart. I'll tell you what about the draftees? Brad and Matt Crouch. Crouch boys, Claire Marnie, AFLW star, and Shane O'Brien, an old teammate of mine, the mighty Brisbane Lions. So they're a great club. Great to have them involved in the Carlton Draft. Big round of applause for the Beaufort Footy Club.
On the Crows. It looks a bit like the Jarman brother there. Is that a Jarman brother?
Jarman.
It looks a little bit like a...
He's too.
Yeah, it does too.
You still playing, Jars?
Is that a Jars or what?
He's still
Like
playing?
Jarsy over there.
What about these boys in the front row? You boys over age? You're 18 years old? A couple of kids there. Oh, yeah.
Jeez, that team's fucked. All right, sorry.
Club number 2. We'll make a big welcome to the Beverley Football Club from Western Australia.
On the Bevs.
That's right. I think it might be our first club from Western Australia. Actually, it might be our first interstate club ever in the Carlton Draft.
We've got 3 this year, but this is our first. What are you, Beverly? Beverly Bears, are you?
Redbacks.
Sort of makes
Absolutely.
sense. Yeah, sure.
It's fantastic to have interstate involvement. That's how big the Carlton Draft's got, hasn't it? Because it wasn't just... It's become too big just for Victoria alone, hasn't it, Dill?
Well, people just love Carlton Draft, not just in Victoria too. So it's good to get
Absolutely.
that out there and have some fun.
Now, the Beverly Hills... the Beverly Hills... The Beverly Hills... I watched Beverly Hills Cop on the way down on the plane.
To be honest, it's better than the Redbacks, let's be honest. But we do love you guys.
Established in 1959, the Beverly Football Club. It's the pride of their wheat belt team. So wheat belt boys, absolutely. Their oval is the envy of the region. Lovely manicured by the cricketing Shire CEO and rivaling anything Perth can offer. It's a Dad's Army revival on a Thursday night. They double part fitness, part social club, and maybe a few post-sessions beers. So big round of applause for the Beverly Football Club from WA. Beautiful. Now our third club is the Colliamberley Football Club. How good? There they are. Got a couple of loose units here. They're all fired up, the boys. Older than the town, louder than the ferret races. How good are the ferret races? Back there, bit of success. Now only 600 people in the town, so probably more than to see my last game against GWS. But that's all right. Now, the 60th anniversary celebrations are kicking off this year. So what better way to celebrate than have one of our own finest from the Carlton Draft to go back out there and help you try and win a game of footy. What do you reckon, boys? Sounds good.
Across the border too, Brownie. So New South Wales?
New South Wales, another interstate team. That's fantastic. So
the Blues?
The Blues, maybe Dill, you can get back there. Although no one
couldn't get a game
playing.
in the actual one, so don't worry about me for tonight.
Colliamberley Football Club, round of applause. Now, our fourth club, the Heathmere Football Club. Here they are. What do you got, boys? What's the mascot? The Magpies. Clearly the Magpies. Beautiful. Small but mighty. Established in 1927. They're ready to go. Thursday night dinners, Saturday night games are a feast. Their Mini Mears program, started by one of their champion mums, keeps the kids entertained while mum and dad chase the footies, netballs, or just the Sunday on a cold winter's day. Premierships, but their real legacy is loyalty. 5 300 gamers and one club legend with over 500 games. So does that mean you haven't won any premierships? Is that what I'm reading? How many flags you won?
Not yet.
Okay.
202 was our last senior one.
Okay.
Cool.
How's the
Long time
season
ago.
started so far? You won any games? Right, beautiful. There you go, boys. So we're going to try and get them their first win of the season as part of the Carlton Draft. How good's that? That's the Heathmere Footy Club. And lucky last, our final footy club is the Hill End and Grove Rovers Football Club. Big round of applause. Mid-Gippsland as well. Rivals. Arch rivals in the same league. Yeah, beautiful. Do you like them or not?
I hate them.
You hate each other?
Hell.
Arch rivals? Always in the bottom of the ladder? Okay, rightio. Well, let's see who can get the win. Hopefully both of you get the win this year. You're not playing each other, eh? You're not going to play each other in the game. Well, not when the Carlton Draft's on, though. Yeah, no, we need a win. We need a win from both clubs, okay? So I probably should organise that before I started talking about it. So, look, I'll tell you a quick story. The story of the Hill End and Grove Football Club begins not with football, but with a bill. In 1946, after World War II and a brief financial misunderstanding, I believe the Treasurer lost all the money on the quaddie that Saturday. They've been able to get back on track, and obviously they've been pretty successful ever since. Not lately, but it's down around the Blue Rock Lake, Bawbaw National Park and the Great Dividing Range. So that's the region we're looking for. So might be a cold winter's day up there, I would have thought, Dill. So big round of applause. Glad to have you involved. The Hill End and Grove Football Club in the Carlton Draft of 2025.
Well done, Brownie. I appreciate that encyclopedia on each of the clubs, mate. That was fantastic. And let's move on to some players.
Did a lot of work. Right, I'll leave it up to you, mate.
Good. All right, guys, as we mentioned, and just to jump on the Commissioner's words, in all seriousness, it is an absolute honour and pleasure to have these clubs here. I was lucky enough to actually do this last year for the Tour of Footy Club, and the people are what makes this. And you guys coming down tonight and being a part of it is heartwarming, because we know how special this is, and we're really excited for these clubs. You've been handpicked because you're good people, and that's what matters first, and we're really excited. So enough with the soppy stuff. Let's get on to some players, shall we? This man that I'm going to introduce up here first before Brownie has some questions with the boys, he probably is the best looking on the panel, I'd say. He's up there with the top two, that's for sure. He's a big man. No, it's not you, Will Schofield. You sit down. You sit right down. You're last. This man is a former #1 draft pick. He's played over 275 games. He's a 2-time All-Australian. He's got one of the absolute best rigs. I think he's still got a better rig than most of the players in the AFL today. Please welcome Brett Deledio. Just have a seat. Next up, we have one of the absolute stars in the Cloke clan, ladies and gentlemen. These boys absolutely tore the competition apart for a long time. Let's see if he's got the glove with him in the Carlton Draft this year. We're excited to see. He's booted 452 goals, probably over 3,000 points. Yeah, and then 6,000 out in the Fools. Yeah, so that was rough. I've played 41 games. 256 games. He's won a premiership. Please welcome this absolute superstar, Travis Cloke. All right. You know you're a legend when you're getting into the Carlton Draft and you don't even have to come to the presentation. And this man today, he unfortunately cannot be here. Matthew Pavlich, he's a Silver Fox. He's obviously played a lot of games, 353, 700 goals. He's an absolute business mogul. He will be a part of the Carlton Draft this year. Unfortunately, he's not here. Will Schofield isn't happy about that because Pav's not a premiership player and Will is, and he's still made to come down. So do we have a message from Pav that will come now, or is that later? Here it is.
Hi guys, Matthew Pavlich here. Really disappointed that I can't be there in person for the CUB draft tonight, but looking forward to it. Interested to see where I end up in the draft. Hoping to stay here in Western Australia, of course, given that I played all my career here, and I think the home of footy is here in WA. Also, a little nervous about how my body is going to hold up. It's been 9 years since I retired. Played my last game in 2016 for the Dockers. So a bit nervous about that. A bit nervous about where I end up, but it should be a terrific night.
Channel 7 cross there, Pav. You can just take yourself a little less seriously. That'd be fantastic. Yeah, loosen up, Pav.
Loosen up, for fuck's sake. Sorry.
Literally. What? He seems like a lot of fun. So anyway, good luck to whoever you get there. This next man, I'll tell you what, he'd be up there tonight with one of the absolute greats to get involved with your footy club. He's fresh off a lot of things. What's he won? He won 3 flags, 769 goals. He's a part-time footballer throughout his career, full-time farmer. This man's just absolutely done it all. He's got country in his blood. Tommy Hawkins. A couple more, and no, actually the last one, actually. This man, as you said, he's in the top 5 best-looking blokes here tonight. He's a really, really good player. 194 games. He's 194 games. He's a premiership player and honestly one of the best media sensations in the world. He's got a very good podcast. If you see, when you see Dylan Friends, you keep scrolling down a little bit and a bit more, then you'll find his, which is called Back Chat. But they're doing great stuff. Please welcome Will Schofield. Go on, you Scully. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's next for me for a little bit. I'm going to welcome back up the Commissioner to have a Q&A.
Beautiful. How are you, boys? You excited?
Great. I'm very happy to have a microphone in front of my face. Dylan Buckley, I mean, fuck me. 40 games of the worst footy you'll ever see at AFL level. He's emceeing an event here, butchered it. He hasn't ironed his shirt. He's having a howler. Far out. Good to be here, though. Boys, how you going?
Fantastic, mate. Not as good as well, but yeah, good to be here.
Just clarify a few things. You got him covered, haven't you? Dylan,
I've got it covered. Yeah, no jocks in the shower for Scully. So whichever club that gets me, look forward to a very small penis in the showers. No jocks. Can confirm.
Very good. Now, you've had a bit of practice in the showers, Tommy, this year already, a couple of weeks ago. Probably a bad lead in that one, but...
I was wondering if you had a video in our bathroom this morning, Brownie.
But you have been in the locker room this year, Tommy, because you went back to your own footy club, the Finley Football Club, where you did grow up and played there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I had a little warm-up, and I'm only 6 months out of the game. Felt a little bit, but it was bloody nice to go back, Brownie. I can appreciate and sympathise with everyone here with a struggling football club, and although it didn't set the world on fire, we got the win. So it was a great experience.
Interesting. How many goals?
I got 4.
4.
How many points, mate?
Now, just remember, we are at the draft, so we've got the prospective clubs.
And one on the full.
One on the full, that's right. That's actually all right. I can understand if it was you, Trav, but normally,
Fucking good to go,
normally
wasn't
Tommy
it?
doesn't put them out in the full. But prospective clubs here watching, so they want to know, like, how well did you play? You kicked 4. Did you give a few off, or just a flat day for you?
Yeah, no, well, it wasn't a high-scoring game. It was a nice track at Finley, but it just didn't result in too many goals. I think there was 10 apiece. Or not 9 and 10, low-scoring game. But I will leave you with this, that Finley got beaten the week before by 180 points. So maybe it didn't hit the scoreboard as much as I would like, Brownie, but we still came away with a win.
How good's that? Got him over the win. Round of applause there for Tommy boy.
Brownie, can I just ask, how did you go in the showers afterwards, Tom? How did you go?
Yeah, it was brief.
Jocks on?
It was brief. No,
Jocks
are off. Jocks are off. She was brief, but it was too busy having beers in the sheds post game. Like it's not something we're probably used to as players. And
you would have loved that, wouldn't you? You would have loved that part of it.
Yeah, I loved
Just
it.
being able to get there and have a beer with the boys after.
Yeah,
the game.
well, I actually played with a few guys that I'd played there 21 years beforehand, so they were still going around. So. Great experience and certainly enjoyed a few that night, Brownie.
Now, Trav, you are working for the Essendon Football Club at the moment. You're keeping fit because you are the runner.
That's correct, mate, but my outfit's a bit small.
Yeah, it is a bit small. And pink,
Very small.
And pink. Pink doesn't suit you, mate.
Not many colours do suit me, that's for sure, mate.
How's the fitness?
I run once a week and that's on game day, but I'm farm fit, mate.
Beautiful.
Bit of land, chasing some cows around, so... Still got to do a little bit.
That's right. You are on the farm there. You are a Yarra Valley boy. You grew up in the Yarra Valley.
That's correct.
So you understand grassroots, mate.
Very important. Yep.
Did you used to wear the glove out in the Yarra Valley?
No, the hands were sticky enough back there, mate. It's just at this elite level. Had to get a little bit of extra assistance.
Are we allowed the glove out in the country or whatever club you go to?
Have a bucket of Grippo, one of the two. We'll be right.
Bucket of Grippo. Beautiful. What are we expecting, mate? What are you expecting out of your performance? Are you expecting just to own the goal square and clear the rest of them out, or are you going to get up the field?
Let's be honest,
dominate
mate.
as
I couldn't kick goals when I played at the elite level, as Dill said before.
Stop it, mate. You're a premiership player and a great player.
Yeah, but I kicked many points, mate, and many on the full. So I enjoy getting on the wings. Put me on the wings. Don't waste me in the goal square. Someone else can kick them. Mate. Just kick it to me one-on-one, Wilbur.
On the wing.
Let me up the ground.
Hey, you're a full forward. So are you. Is that disrespectful? So were you. I mean, is that disrespectful to your type? Forwards?
Yeah, exactly right.
On the wing.
The most frustrating thing about watching Trav Cloke run out in the pink as a runner for Essendon every week is you can still get a game for Essendon at the moment, Trav.
They're doing all right, young man. Maybe mid-season draft, who knows?
Yeah, they did. Yes. Brett Deledio, round of applause too. Yes. Clearly the best looking and probably the fittest looking out of all these draft picks. So how are you feeling, mate?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, I'm confident. I played a couple of games last year, but I know how hard it's going to be. But I've prepared much more than Dill did last year, so I'm expecting more than 4 touches.
That's right, you embarrassed. Do you know Dylan Buckley's had the lowest possession total out of this Carlton Draft?
And Joey went off at 4 minutes he last, Joey?
Yeah, that's right. Joey did his quad in the first minute and had more touch than you. Kane Corns is the second worst. He had 6.
That was embarrassing.
That was embarrassing because actually the best has a little bit of a history. I think this is our 4th or 5th Carlton Draft. I think Bernie Vince might have kicked 8, which is the most. 8 or 9 was it? That's the most. So boys, we've got to get into double figures this year. Where'd you play? Did you play full forward or on the ball?
I started there and the delivery was shit out, so I went on ball. So I'm hoping whoever we go to has got an A-grade ruckman and some good mids, and I can sit forward, because I'm a full forward at heart. That's what I'm hoping for.
Now, are you expecting a bigger crowd than most of your games at GWS, mate?
Yeah, I am. I think we should get a few there through the gate, which would be nice. But quiet days when you played an interstate team up there at the Giants, wasn't it?
It was.
Didn't get a lot.
Well, my last game I got knocked out. I think it was 8,000 people, so that was a good crowd at the Gabba against GWS.
How many times did you get knocked out?
There was a couple by the end, so including a couple by me missus when I got home a bit late. She wasn't happy. Tell us where you're from. What part are you from? Are you a Geelong boy?
I'm a Geelong boy. Geelong Falcon Footy Factory, Mick Turner.
Yes.
Rest in peace, the big man.
Yeah, what a great man he was, Mick
Correct.
Turner.
So you're a Geelong Falcon as well, Brownie. So Geelong's not really country though.
No.
Right.
No, it's
so it's more country than Perth. So grew up in Geelong. I think it is relevant to mention here, Brownie, if I can, that I am the first defender, proper defender.
Rancy played.
Well, no, who?
Rancy played. Alex Rance.
No, don't worry about Alex Rance. So, Alex Rance won All Australians. I'm not good enough for that. I'm talking about proper Dow defender. Deledio used to go to the back flank to get a few touches.
Kickouts.
You never saw Cloke or Hawkins in the back line, but I'm a proper defender. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get a chance to make my mark and make my case to these teams.
Yeah,
but I'm the first defender.
Do we like defenders here? The clubs?
Yeah, that's good. Can I just let you guys know?
You did play forward though as a Falcon, didn't you? You did swing forward.
Forwards, right?
Yeah.
Right. Forwards sell memberships. Everyone comes to the footy to watch you blokes kick goals.
Thank you.
Mids sign sponsorships. All the money goes to the midfield, the sponsorships. Dylan Buckley gets all the big brand deals. But backs win premierships, right? So if you want a backman that actually gets the job done, don't go to Hawkins. Cloke wants to play on the wing. Deledio wants to go to the bench. Schofield's actually... Sorry, I didn't say that. Sorry, Lids.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure I agree with that, boys. What do you reckon? Hey, I think it's all about the forwards because we want to get the turnstiles clicking. Defenders don't get the turnstiles clicking, and this is all about raising money for the footy club, making a big day, and that's where the big forwards and the exciting midfielders will get the turnstiles flicking, won't they, Hawk?
Naturally, I think they do, Brownie. Yeah. Other than your last game at the Giants, or with Brisbane at the Giants, we usually pull a few through the gate.
Have you got concerns about injuries? Because your teammate, Norm Smith medalist in 2022, Isaac Smith, I believe he was injured last year.
Yeah, he was. Isaac puts a bit of mail on his stories for those that listen to him on Triple M.
Okay.
Partially tore his MCL and ACL supposedly. So in the game. So
that's all right. We've got insurance at the club, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't know. He usually escaped most games without any body, so he probably copped a bit that day. But he wasn't used to it. I've been pretty durable throughout my career.
How many games did you play?
359.
359. So there you go. He's still in good nick.
So touch wood. I'm not in good nick. Because in that game for Finley, I saw a couple of the stills and thought I'd
blown out a little bit.
Yeah, I've blown out naturally, and it was always going to happen. But I'm fit as can be.
I'm sort of picturing. Remember Rocky IV when he went over to fight Drago in Russia? I'm sort of, because Tommy lives on the farm, okay, and it's getting cold there. He's got a big barn. So I'm picturing you out there with the fire going, Rocky Balboa style, sort of lifting the old horse sled above the head, doing the sit-ups up in the attic, all that sort of stuff. Is that the sort of training regimen you've been partaking in?
No, I wouldn't have thought so, Brownie. A couple of runs around the river.
Are you a farmer? Like, would you say you're a farmer? Or do you live on a farm?
Beaufort boys.
Yeah, what do you reckon, boys? Is he a farmer or does he live on a farm? He's not a farmer, I can tell you that.
Nah, hardly. I mean, the fingernails don't suggest that I do much work. But
have you ever milked a cow?
When I was younger.
Okay.
Cattle, so
that's good.
No dairy for me.
Now, just quickly, obviously, AFL, we're into the full swing of the AFL. So I'm just going to quickly ask you a couple of questions about your old team. Dids?
Which one?
Well, GWS, they should win a premiership.
At some stage.
But they might not. But no one cares about GWS here. So I'm going to ask you about Richmond.
Yep.
How quickly can Richmond get up there to play in finals footy? Got any Richmond supporters here? Yes. Now, obviously, Obviously, you've got some leeway because they won 3 flags. The Tigers, are they on the right track?
I think so, mate. They're a bunch of kids at the moment and they're trying to develop and whatever else. So I can understand where struggling clubs are at. Played with one of those. Obviously, been at the Tigs, mate, for a number of years. We didn't play finals for 9 years when I was there, but they're going okay at the moment. They're learning. They're going to be up and down. They'll give you some good stuff, some really bad stuff, and mate. Hopefully they can just continue to go well under Oos. I think he's doing a great job.
Trav, a lot of Essendon supporters here. Essendon, we've got Essendon supporters? No? Everyone's dropped off Essendon?
Yeah. Not many of them ever.
Well, they've been stuffed since we knocked them over in the 01 Grand Final for all the Essendon supporters. Geez, I tell you what, for the big club, no, there's no one here. There's no support for Essendon. What are they doing down there? Why is there no support for Essendon here, Travis?
Mate, don't ask me that. I just rock up, get the paycheck and leave, mate. You should know that. No, it's Tullamarine. It's a very unusual place. I do enjoy Windy Hill, like middle of Essendon, but Tullamarine, I used to go there to go on a holiday. Yeah. Now I go to Tullamarine and get disappointed. I've got to go to work every day. Yeah.
What about young Nate Caddy? We love him. I'm sure Tommy loves him. We love the way he goes about it. Can he be a superstar of this
He can be. He'll be sitting up here in 20 years doing exactly this. So as you know, I love power forwards, and he's not going to be your power forward, but he's going to be your Nicky Riewoldt. He's going to be more your agile forward, built like that, and he's got swagger, which I love that about the young kids coming through. So keep an eye on him. He'll blossom nicely in due time.
He's going to be a star. And Geelong, the Cats, how do they keep doing it, Tommy? They just keep turning up top 4 every year.
Oh, they coach well. They've got good leaders.
Why is Chris Scott universally recognised as the best coach in the competition? Why? What's one?
I've got his brother, mate. He's pretty good too.
Yeah, but Chris has won 2 premierships, though.
Yeah. No support, Nick, like him. No one goes for Essendon.
Who breaks for Geelong, by the way?
Couple of
Cats fans.
I think he's ahead of his time when it comes to coaching and strategy. He manages his players well. They continue from a list management point of view to be able to put together a good side, a good list that continues to play well. So I worry a little bit about their depth through the midfield. Their continuity down back with a few players. Sam de Koning sort of trialled in the ruck, but we'll have College Asney and Jack Henry coming back.
Connor O'Sullivan's a good player.
Who's that? Connor O'Sullivan?
Good
yeah,
player.
very good player.
He's a star, Connor O'Sullivan.
Who manages him?
Oh, I know a bloke.
Yeah, but traditionally we've been seen as an old list, but there is some young stars down at the Cats, so they're really well placed. Few out of form forwards, but I think over the longevity of the year they'll be fine.
Beautiful. And West Coast. Reluctant to ask you about West Coast. Will, you got any comments on West Coast? Any West Coast supporters here? Oh yeah, we've got a couple.
Yeah, well,
a couple of girls there.
Yep.
Are they paying you to be supporters?
Yep.
What's happened to this club? You won a premiership in 2018.
No, West Coast are fucked. Basically.
You said it. You said it.
Look, if I can represent Western Australia here, because Matty Pavlich, the most boring man alive, couldn't make his way over here. I actually am concerned for Pav, Brownie. So, 40 years old, got grey hair, looks fit, may not be fit. So Nathan Buckley.
Be like Nathan Buckley.
Nathan Buckley lasted 27 seconds. I've done the numbers. My over-under for Matthew Pavlich is 27 seconds.
Really?
And I'll take the unders. So, look, West Coast are no good. Freo could be back. I'd love to see West Coast with a little bit of form, but that looks like a generational sort of movement for mine. So most of the kids in Western Australia moving away from West Coast, getting towards Victorian teams, because West Coast are just absolute shit house.
It's going to take a while, absolutely. Without further ado, I think it's time to move it on. I think a big round of applause for our 4 guys that are here. And Matty Pavlich.
Good on you.
Look forward to the draft later on, boys. Back over to you, Dill.
Do you want us to stay here, Brownie, or should we leave?
I just said, well, a round of applause. Normally
He just said get off.
Righto. Take a break. Okay, we're going to have a quick break, so you can go to the bar there. The food will start to come out. Enjoy each other's company, get around each other and meet. Should be good. See you back here in about 15.
Welcome back. How's that? It was all happening there in the Red Room.
Great
The Carlton
start.
Draft room is
Yes.
called tonight. The Red Room. Makes sense. Red. All the lads are up there. In terms of what's going on up there, it's a bit of sportsman's nighty, isn't it? It's a bit sportsman's nighty.
Looks like good fun up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got a Thursday night footy club feel to it too. Presentation mixed in with that sporty environment that we love.
What I noticed, right, we've been talking about 5 players getting the opportunity to represent the Carlton Draft. Thanks to Carlton Draft and Carlton Dry, right? 5 players.
Yep.
I can only count 4 up there. And I've been told on this stream I don't have to look down the barrel, but I will on this occasion. One omission. Matthew Pavlich had the nerve to accept the Carlton Draft invitation, but to send in a pre-recorded video link to try and woo over the draftees upstairs in terms of the clubs that are going to put their heart and soul on the line for these players. So, Pav, I think you've just dropped down the order a little bit.
We had him at pick 2. Does he go down to 3?
Yeah, I think that makes him slide. The character piece there, Pav. I've always questioned it. There it is. I've questioned it even more there.
And what about
Pav, by the way? Great stuff, mate.
What about the shirt? What about the Pav shirt? What do you think about that? It's very Larry. I hope the club.
That's the West Australian.
The WA clubs here, are they metro, funky, creative, or are they more country? How's that going to go down?
No, I think the clubs that we've got in the whole of the entire Carlton Draft element are, they're quite, country and really entrenched in their roots. So the Pav shirt may just put him on the back foot a little bit. But we do love the Pav and we thank him for supporting the Carlton Draft. Looking forward to seeing where he goes in the draft. Let's recap the draft order. Okay, so from pick 5, Hill End and Grove. Remind me, Flanners, what's their moniker? What team are they?
The Hill and Grove are the Rovers.
The Rovers. Then we've got Beverley.
Yes, they're the Redbacks.
And based where?
In WA.
WA. Heathmere.
Heathmere are out in the southwest of Victoria, close to South Australia.
Yeah, Colliambly.
Colliambly up in the Farrah Footy League between Deniliquin, Hay and Wagga.
Right up there, and Beaufort out towards Ballarat.
Yes.
Yeah, very good. So there we are. Your first observations on the panel, Pato?
Well, there's a lot of chat. Well, firstly, a lot of profanity, a few F-bombs. I don't know whether they actually knew they were live on a stream or just Chatham House rules.
And just on that, Pato, a lot of watch parties happening amongst these clubs around the nation because it's the first national draft. So Beaufort, Colliambly, Heathmere, Beverley, Hill End and Grove, a lot of their supporters, members, volunteers are watching along on the stream, which we love.
Yes.
Send any comments or questions you may have on the feed, and we'll be more than happy to ask them, or ask your draftee when they hit the couch when we interview them after their pick. So big shout out to the watch parties at all the local clubs.
Yep, great chat, Mick. The other observations I had was plenty of talk around, where do you wear jocks in the showers or what the setup is. I've been playing some country footy myself, and a lot of times you're going in there with the opposition, which is quite different. So
What do you mean? Like
joint showers, joint showers.
Right.
So that could be something to look out for.
So it's a draw. You get to get in there and just
someone you've had a beef with during the game. Chance to look at them swear in the nude. There's no jocks in country footy, so I hope the boys don't roll with that, or they will not live that down. Also, some chat around being farm strong, farm fit versus gym strong. Whether Trav's actually in the right shape there.
Yeah.
So that'd be interesting. Like they think they can go and muscle these country boys.
Elephant in the room. Did we hear enough from our man Brett Deledio? Felt like he was a little bit of the outcast on the panel. He was out towards the side. He's not as much of an alpha male as maybe Cloke and Tomahawk.
Key position players.
Schofield up there.
A lot of big key position players out there, and Brett was just sort of one out
That's
there.
true. Yeah, Brett's already starting to look for the loose ball on the wings. So
Definitely.
That was my observation. Any other observations you had?
Last one was just that the glove is confirmed from Big Trav Cloke. So that'd be interesting. I reckon that will go for quite a bit as an auction item potentially after the game. That could be a good revenue raiser for the club.
It's actually a very good idea for all of them, potentially to wear gloves and sell them off.
I've got a question for you boys. What do you reckon? You've played a fair bit of amateur footy, both of you. What's the brutal truth that these blokes are about to learn when they go out there and represent these sides in the Carlton Draft?
Yeah, I've given some advice. Out of my AFL career, came out, played in a few different leagues. I played up in Darwin, I played in the Golden Valley for Shep United, and still currently playing in the Hampden League for North Warrnambool, right? So what I found, the difference coming back to local level is, I was a contested player, right? So the ball there, the old 1 metre rule. I'm 1 metre from the ball, my opponent's 1 metre from the ball. AFL, I'd just go. pretty quickly figured out at local level, they go, but they go far more recklessly without any sort of technique. So my advice to these guys would be, with the 1 metre rule, potentially just hang back a little bit. No one will call you weak, and just wait for the ball to spill out to you because they're not as clean at the local level. Pato.
I'd say the decks. You've got to make sure there's a little bit of unevenness. Adulation. So you're not going to get these pristine decks. So the ball does bounce a bit differently. Make sure those ankles are strapped. Get the heel locks done. Work out which the best trainer is to strap those ankles pre-game.
Yeah, it'd be important to get potentially the Thursday night training, which adds a little bit of a layer to the whole Carlton Draft experience, to get to know those trainers and get right in there and sort out your favourite trainer for game day. Flanners, you're going to take us behind the scenes with some fun facts on these towns or the clubs, or a bit of both? Mix of both.
Yeah, a bit mix of both. Yeah. We'll go with the clubs first. So which one do you want me to start with?
Let's start from the bottom. Hill and Grove have the 5th draft pick, so let's start with Hill and Grove.
All right, the Rovers, they haven't won a flag in more than 40 years.
Yeah.
The old Rovers, and in between Warragul and Moe.
And spoiler alert, we'll get to how these teams are going this year. It's going to be 41.
Yeah,
it's going to be 41.
The way they're going at the moment, it's not great, but yeah, we'll touch on that later. They're in between Warragul and Moe, which is a great part of the world. Love spending a bit of time down there.
How long since you've been between Warragul and Moe?
A little while, but I love getting down there when I get the chance. It's a terrific spot. Hill End merged with Willow Grove back in 1949 to form the Hill End Grove Footy Club, the Mighty Rovers. And great club, and we can't wait to see who they pick.
So a bit happening there, Hill End and Grove. Last pick, so whoever's left on the table, I'll be more than happy to take them. Now, just actually what we will do a little bit later on in our stream is go back in time in the Carlton Draft and actually go through some of the better performances across the history of the Carlton Draft, but wouldn't be a live stream if we couldn't take down a couple, all right, as well, and really kind of dig a couple into the dirt that may have just underperformed for their draft. I think these 5 are really going to go up and elevate these clubs and themselves, but we will do that a little bit later on. Now let's have a look at the Beverley Football Club.
Well, Beverley, here's a fun fact about Beverley. Chance Bateman played for the club, and the Oval is one of the best surfaces going around. So we're talking about variable surfaces in amateur football. Don't worry about that at Beverley. It's a beautiful deck.
That's all you got. The grass is nice in Beverley.
I mean, it's an hour's drive from Perth. There's plenty to do in Beverley. You've got the Avon River, you've got the Beverley Golf Course, the tennis club.
Turn the sprinklers on at the footy oval while it sounds. That's about all.
Bowls and Croquet Club. Now they've got the Red Vault Cafe. They've got the Freemasons Tavern where you can get a cold Carlton Draft.
Chance Bateman crusted on there at the Beverley Football Club. The next one we will hear a little bit about is the Heathmere Football Club, right out towards the South Australian border.
Yes, very, very much west of Victoria. Rowan Marshall played in the juniors down at Heathmere, so he's handy. They call themselves the Mears, Heathmere Mears, so very creative down there. Victoria, close to the border of South Australia, as we mentioned, population of 241. And I tried to search for things to do in the area.
How recently was that the ABS data taken on that one?
The census was 2021, I believe. So there may have been an increase, there may have been a decrease. But population of 241 at that point in time. And I looked around for other things to do in the area. Wasn't much coming up on Google apart from the footy club.
Can't be too many locals in that makeup of the list.
Well, Heathmere must clearly it's near Portland because I always connected Rowan Marshall with Portland, which Portland actually a shout out to. I know they haven't paid the dough to be involved in the Carlton Draft. The Portland Football Club had gone from not winning a game in the Hampton League for a number of years to this year. I think they've started like a rocket. They're 3-0 and looking really good, and that's where Rowan Marshall I think played a fair bit.
Well, the Mears have claimed him.
Yeah, they've claimed him. So they're sharing him.
Can't the Mears?
But the Mears, let's give Rowan, particularly for tonight, thanks Carlton Draft, Carlton Dry, is Mears. Man, tell us a little bit about, now I know how to pronounce this name. I've pronounced it a few times. You two have been a little bit sheepish around the town of?
Coleambally. Coleambally.
Yes, you were foxing me, go on.
Yeah, the Coleambally Footy Club, established in 1965, before the town of Coleambally itself was formed. So the Coleambally Blues Footy Club before the town of Coleambally. So maybe the town was based around the footy team. Up in the Farrer Footy League, in between Deniliquin, Hay and Wagga, close to Finley, the home of Tommy Hawkins. So they may love to get a favourite son back there.
Yeah, well, if he's not slipping out of the top 2, Tom.
Wouldn't have thought so.
I reckon, Not to go too early, but I think Beaufort have
probably
wrapped up.
They probably
Tommy. It'd be a great story to get him back to Colliambley. Any other players of significance out of Colliambley? I've thrown that one on you.
I don't have players of significance, but I do have some town landmarks. They have the swimming pool, they have the water tower, and I've heard down at the Muddy Duck they have the happy hour, $5 Carlton Draft from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Thursday to Saturday. So it'll be going off down there at the Muddy Duck.
Go with that one again, just if anyone missed that. The Muddy Duck?
The Muddy Duck, $5 draft.
Muddy Duck.
Yeah, beautiful.
Get down there. They'll be going off if Hawk or Pav go there.
Yeah, and out towards Ballarat we have the number 1 draft pick, and they've just landed on the map with the number 1 draft pick of the Carlton Draft for the season 2025. But Beaufort, tell us a little bit about there.
Beaufort actually spent a fair bit of time in Beaufort. I used to work on the rail projects out there.
A little bit more time than the Warrigal and Moe connection?
A little bit more, yeah. They've got the old fire station. They've got the town's rotunda, their iconic heritage listed buildings. They've got a great bakery there, a beautiful pie shop up in Beaufort. And they were established in 1880, home to the Crouch brothers, and the first club ever to win a flag in Crows colours. So
the Crouches... So sorry, you might have made this point. So Beaufort became the Crows when? Did you make that point? No. Is it kind of when the club was established?
Established 1880. When they became the Crows, that's undisclosed in my notes.
Yeah. So you're telling me you've got all these facts and you're missing some. All right, so
they can tell us in the chat.
In the chat, Beaufort they'd be having a draft party because I feel like the Crouch brothers going there, and a big moment for the town. Where they go, the Crows. Let's call it the Crows. Thank you, Flanners. Now. Some season updates on our 5 teams. I'm really interested to know how we're going. We're pushing for finals. Are we down the bottom? Is there relegation and promotion opportunities? Over to you, Pato.
In terms of order, I might throw it around, but Hill End Grove, the Hill End Grove Rovers, currently last on the ladder, 0-3.
Only early in the season.
Early in the season. But they finished last in 2024 with only 1 victory and a percentage of 32.75. So, they need some help.
They do.
They need an injection here. Probably want this game earlier in the season just to get things going, get them off the bottom, get that confidence going. So that's Hill End Grove. Colliam.
I'll go with you. I'll jump in.
Intro me, please.
Yeah, the Colliambley Football Club.
The Colliambley Football Club finished second last, in 2024. But they've started the year very positively.
Right.
2 wins and a draw.
2-1. 2 1 and 0, yeah.
Sorry, not 1 draw. 2 wins and 1 loss.
Right. Okay.
No, I jumped the gun there. But they are fighting for wins here to make the finals.
So they're final bound.
They're probably the club here with the most prospects.
Yeah.
So as a player, you can come in there and make a difference.
Just remind me what they did last year.
They were second last.
Okay, so big shift.
I've got stats here for how many 100-point losses the teams actually had last year. Colliambley only had 1.
Yeah.
So they're one of the stronger teams in this
They
year.
always talk about the Brisbane rise to the premiership, right? Brisbane won the premiership in 2024. The rise started in 2000 and I reckon it was 17, Chris Fagan took over. 5 wins. It was all about percentage and not getting blown out and being in games. So the Chris Fagan mantra has obviously shifted towards Colliambley.
Can bounce back.
To Heathmere. What do you got next for us, Pato?
I've got Heathmere. They were the Wooden Spooners last year. 1 win, 15 losses, 22%. They've started the year shockingly 0-3. Unfortunately, they conceded over 100 points in nearly every game so far. So, Heathmere really need the support. Where did they land in the draft order?
Heathmere are third. Look, they're going to pick up a handy player, however it all looks, but conceded over 100 points in every game so far this season. So team defence is on the priority. So Will Schofield, for all of us putting Will Schofield down towards the bottom, the defensive element there might put
maybe they take him short up the back line.
9 times last year they lost by 100 plus.
Yeah.
And there were 11 games where they kicked 3 goals or less.
Yeah. Okay, so offence and defence is an issue. Right. So no worries, Heathmere. We will look for a player to try and drum up some support either at the back end, the front end, and probably the midfield. I think we're looking for all 3 parts of the ground. What else you got, Pato?
Moving over to Beverley now. They finished on the bottom of the ladder last year, so another Wooden Spoon team. But they're 1-1 to start the year. They lost to their arch rivals York, who we mentioned before, Chance Bateman.
Who's from York?
Changa.
Changa's from York.
Chance Bateman.
So is Zach Fisher from the North Melbourne Football Club.
Right, there you go. So there's a bit of dispute there around where Changa sits. So he's one of the great clubmen of all time. Managed to play with him. But the fun fact, they've got a Bradley Pattison, spelt the same way as my surname, and he was in the best last week.
In the best.
Play HQ, so 1-1 Bradley Patto. will be cheering for you.
And 0 100-point losses last year. So they are a powerhouse relative to the rest of this field.
Yeah, the Chris Fagan model. Just let's be competitive in games, stay in games, let's build our percentage. Doesn't have to get above 100, but it doesn't want to dip towards 0. So some great shouts. What we would like to just throw back down the camera, you've got one more team, but all those clubs that are having watch parties tonight, throw any comments that you've got in the comments. We've got the players going to sit right here next to Flanners in a second. We're going to ask them all the questions on behalf of you for your club. One more.
Beaufort, Wooden Spooners last year, they only won 1 game for the entire season. They got pumped in the first 2 games of this season, 125 and 92 points. But they notched a win on the weekend.
Yes.
So Beaufort are back.
Big round of applause for Beaufort, the Crows.
They've got a big draft pick here tonight.
A lot of people up in the red room. We're just about to throw in the red room with JB and Dill, but the Crows colours are very much in vogue, and they seem like they're on a high. Halfway. I hope they're not getting too far ahead of themselves heading into this week's match, because you've got to stay on edge, all right? Stay on edge and try and get another result this week. But after all that, great analysis, great fun facts. We will head to Warragul and Moe at some stage on a bit of a road trip and get up there, maybe for the Carlton Draft match. But we'll go back up to Brownie and Dill in the red room to reveal all the draftees.
I did see the Beaufort officials outside before. They looked a bit fizzed up. I think they'd been to a previous pub before here. So
I will make a note. I've heard that the Carlton Draft here, great initiative, but they come from far and wide, and it's midweek, and they look for this opportunity. They look for this opportunity to potentially pin them back. I didn't see many wives and partners with the representatives of the football club, so I think the wee hours might be on the cards. Off the back of all of Pato's stats, you may have had a couple of fun facts that we may have just missed.
Well, just on Beaufort, just mentioned that they had a win for a rare time. They won 1 match, lost by 107 times last year. But on the weekend, they Lockie Murray and Jack Wotherspoon kicked 3 goals apiece. They won by 39 points over Waroobra. Massive win by Beaufort.
Well done, boys.
So Beaufort, hey, we're going to now throw back up to JB and Dill to get this party started up in the red room.
Radio, here we go. The Carlton Draft continues. Clubs, please take your seats. A little bit of quiet up the back, a little bit of quiet. This is where the main show starts. This is what we're here for. I need to just go through the rules of the draft and the rules of the evening. By the way, a round of applause for all the staff and the bar staff looking after us tonight. Kitchen staff, all the crew that have made this, put this night together. It's a fantastic evening. Obviously, great hospitality, and we will enjoy that long into the night celebrating these draft picks. Now, all 5 clubs are currently their draft selection tables there. They'll submit their official selections for the Carlton Draft. Now, here's the rules, boys. Each club will have 10 minutes to submit their selections for each pick. When you hear this sound, oh, I like that. This means that a club has made a selection and we are ready to announce who that club has selected. Now, while we encourage you all to enjoy the evening, we do ask that when this sound plays, you all pay attention to the stage so we can hear the announcement of which of these draftees can now call himself a Carlton Draft selected player. How good, how good. That's right. And I'm confident this is the best crop that I've been able to assemble this year. Like we said, we've got Dill on board as the head recruiter. Little bit disappointed with some of the performances, let me say, over the last couple of years. Or not so much performances, but the lack of fitness from some of our draftees. I can assure you that all 5 draftees and the 4 blokes here tonight are in tip-top shape and ready to come out and dominate for your club. Which clubs are? The draft order. Here we go. Now, I must say, this was randomly selected. I got my kids to do it the Savo. My wife watched very closely, make sure there's no funny buggers. Pick number 1, the Beaufort Football Club. Well done. Again, can you just check the... Well done, Beaufort. Again, can you just check the ID of that table at the front there? It looks like a beer in front of a... Anyway, we'll keep moving on. This is an over-18s event, so yeah, the ID was checked. With pick number 2, the Colliamboy Football Club. Happy with that, boys? Beautiful. I'm sure Beaufort will make a mistake and you'll just pounce. With pick number 3, the Heathmere Football Club. The Mighty Magpies over there. Couple of boos, just keep the boos reserved. It's not Collingwood. It's the Heathmere Footy Club. They haven't had a win. They're zipping 3. Got within 30 points last week, so that's a start. Hopefully one of our boys, one of my boys, will get them over the line. With pick number 4, the Beverley Football Club. The Mighty Redbacks. You boys staying tonight? You boys staying tonight in town? Beautiful. You'll be able to celebrate later on when you get that player. And last, with pick number 5, but still a very good player. I'm not sure who that's going to be. The clubs might give it away. The Hill End and Grove Rovers Football Club. Yes. Without further delay, let's begin the countdown to the 2025 Carlton Draft. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honour to declare the 2025 Carlton Draft open. And the Beaufort Football Club have the first pick and are currently on the clock, boys. You got 10 minutes.
Exciting stuff. So the Carlton Draft is open. And the draft order has been revealed. I felt like I might have got a sneak peek to the draft order before Brownie actually put it to air. But there we are. The draft order, we have it. We've got at pick 1, Beaufort. So the Crows
Huge
get a look
result.
at the Crouch brothers would be absolutely stoked at the moment with Beaufort getting draft pick number 1, Colliambly number 2, Heathmere number 3, Beverley number 4, and Hill End and Grove get the last pick in the draft. But what's your reactions to all that, Flanners?
Well, Beaufort will be happy. The people up at the Crows will be up and about because they get their pick of an outstanding cast of superstars to join their club for at some stage this season.
And they can be a little bit more specific, Pato. We were just speaking off air about the fact that a lot of these clubs are struggling. Colliambly having a good year. 2 wins, 1 loss to start the season. The rest of the clubs at the moment just middling towards the bottom of the table.
Heathmere in particular.
Yeah, how are they going to utilise some of these? Like we're looking up there. We've got Tom Hawkins, we've got Travis Cloke, we've got Matthew Pavlich, and they're the 3 guys that made a living out of just stacking themselves to the goal square.
Yeah.
How will these clubs use them?
Well, I think, you've got notice now that you'll soon know what fixture you have, and if you do draft one of these big forwards, get the centre bounce stuff right. Let's stack the midfield so we can just get it into them, put it in their area, and trust that they can do the work.
Yeah.
Delivery is critical. If you just get it in their area, they're going to do some damage, but getting it in their area is probably the challenge.
And we might come back in a little bit to exactly what each club might do and which players they might take. We've done our phantom drafts, but do we adjust it in terms of we've had a big deep dive into how the clubs are going this year? Let's take a look back. Let's take a step back in time in terms of the Carlton draft and how it's all been going. And we've gone with our top 3 standouts and stinkers across the history of the Carlton draft. As we always do, we like to kick things off with a high. So let's start with a standout. I'm going to start with Trent Cotchin's game at the Land. Only last year, 27 disposals. I think he was the first player to don the boots last year in the Carlton draft. 27 disposals, 4 goals, got the job done. All class, still fit as a fiddle. So Trent Cotchin, tip of the cap to you.
I'm going to go with Bernie Vince, who went up to Maryborough in the black and white and kicked 8 goals, 7.
That's a handy performance.
15 scoring shots for Big Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, and who can forget the big Dave Barramundi, 6 goals for the mighty Carngham Linton side.
I've given you the tough one there. Carngham Linton. He's kicked 6, and Dave did terrifically because that's a player that made a name for himself in the early parts of his career as a halfback, and then went to the midfield. Didn't spend a huge amount of his career up forward, but to kick 6 goals is a big
One of
effort.
the most accurate kicks for goal and most reliable in the clutch, I would say, Nick.
A couple of comments coming through on the live stream on the feed. Lockie Galan from Beaufort says there's a spot for Flanners in the Beaufort reserves if you're keen to head up with whoever gets drafted to Beaufort on the Carlton draft. So would you take them up on that offer?
We can discuss it. Let's talk about it.
Foss Jam has just said, imagine being a fullback on Big Tomahawk. No thanks. I'd like to think whoever's playing against Tomahawk on the day may actually put a couple of numbers back in front of the big Hawk. Hey,
that would be poor form though, wouldn't it? If they just flood back on Tomahawk.
Yeah, but I think they will.
Spirit?
I think they will. And especially if it's bottom versus second bottom. Yeah. Hey, we've had a look at the standouts. Let's have a look at the stinkers across the Carlton draft history. I'll start with Nilma Darnham. They got the great Nathan Buckley. Now, what they didn't think about when they got the great Nathan Buckley is he's 50 years old. They got him in the bus, travelled up, away he went, lasted not long at all. 1 handball in 9 minutes and then coached from the sideline. So Nathan Buckley, well, I don't know if it's on Nathan or the club. He's 50 years old. I think you got what you deserved.
They won the Brownlow medalist. They won the Norm Smith medalist. They won the multiple Copeland Trophy winner, but it was cold. It was wet up there at Nilma Darnham, and poor old Bucks did his hammy in 9 minutes.
And they got the coach. Who have you got?
Joey Montagna, who went up to Castlemaine. He only got the 1 kick in 3 minutes. He did the quad. So I've got a question. Which of this year's Carlton draftee group do you think is the biggest chance of breaking that 3-minute record?
I think Brett Deledio with his history of the calves, but he's quite fit and firing at the moment. I would just go with Pav with the age. I think we've got quite a fit and ready group in the Carlton draft this year. Pato, who have you got?
Well, before Kane Corns was bagging Harry Sheasel in the Kangas, he was representing Moiston Willora in the Carlton draft. Did I get that one right?
I think so.
And they got belted by 119 points, reminiscent of the 2007.
Yes, 2007 grand final. That's where I'm going.
07 grand final. That loss. So
that's so grim.
Yeah, old Kano had a game to forget.
And I don't think he got much of the football from memory, Kane. And again, likes it on the outside Does Kane, speaking of stat padding, the comments are coming through thick and fast here. Christian, how much does off-field impact the pick that we've discussed that? We feel like that's a huge part of the criteria. That's why we think Will Schofield will probably go last, being from the West Coast Eagles. Flanners mentioned in the water tower, mentioned the water tower in Colliambley. It's shaped like a big schooner.
Yeah.
Should get the Carlton Draft logo projected on it now. We're getting some entrepreneurs.
I think Colliambley are going that well this season. They can probably just go more for off-field here. They don't need the help. They've got the 2 wins.
Eric and Mulcahy, I really appreciate your insights. Listening to the stream from the start, we were wondering when Beaufort became the Crows, and they were Beaufort Cats, but they became the Crows in 1994.
So the Kraft brothers have been born, but they hadn't started playing.
And the Crows hadn't won a premiership, but then they got rolling in their career. One more from Craig Verdorn. The day David Mundy played for Carnan Linton was against Beaufort. So the league's a big fan of the Carlton Draft. So some good stuff coming through on the feed. Keep sending them through. What's a pass mark, do you think, at the moment? Let's really quickly whiz through the 3 key forwards we've got. What's a pass mark for Cloke, Pav and the Hawk?
Well, I think you've got to put a handicap on the one that goes to Heathmore. I think it's going to be tough for that player to dominate the game. But if you go to one of the other clubs, I reckon 5, 6. As I said with Hawk, 10.
He's going to get 10?
You know, he's fresh out of the game, Big Hawk. I'm looking for a big performance from the Big Hawk.
Yep. I'd say for a midfielder.
Which we've only really got Deledio. I'm thinking Deledio, the other big boys might go in the ruck at some point. But I reckon Lids, I'm going to talk to him tomorrow on Footy and Friends and say, mate, you've got to get around the ball.
I think Brett will have Trent Cotchin's 27 disposal number in his mind. He'll want to beat that, want to get the 30 touches. But I think one big bone-crunching tackle, holding the ball, probably gives him about 5 disposals off.
I've never heard the sentence bone crunching, holding the ball tackle.
I haven't.
Or they kind of threw those words around in there with Brett Deledio.
No, it would be rare, but you've got to find something within, like the Ken Hinkley speech at local footy. Yeah. They run through a brick wall for this game.
Will there be tears? Brett's known for having a few tears on the way off. I think the Carbs, the grand finals he missed, the Richmond winning it, all that stuff. It's just a melting pot of emotion there for Brett. Key back, we've only got one. It's Will Schofield. What do we expect from him?
It's going to be a big physical mismatch, I would have thought, for Scoey's opponent. He's pretty tough to our customer at the best of times. But I wonder, as I said earlier, I wonder if he's going to go in the ruck. I wonder if he's going to go forward. Yeah, see a lot of Scoey in the back line.
You can't go.
He's got to push up a bit.
You can't go. You can't go key back in the Carlton Draft.
No.
If he can go down back and the side's struggling and he can get 10 marks, you know, a lot of intercepts, and they have a good competitive loss, maybe that's the job that he needs to play, and everyone will be happy.
Yeah, it could be the day that he kicks 5 or 6 and wins a miracle game for a side that hasn't won for a while.
One big fist though.
Yeah. Foss Jams has come back up on the stream. Very worried about Brett's calves. So Brett's calves are in a little bit of strife. I think there's some movement in the red room. We're not going to go back just yet. Beaufort are on the clock, by the way. They do have pick 1, formerly known as the Cats, now the Crows, and I think all of us are in agreement that potentially it becomes Tom Hawkins. But follow the NFL draft recently? You didn't?
No.
Did you?
There was a bit of a change, wasn't there?
There was. Well, Shador Sanders was
the
top 2, top 5 pick projected, and ended up going pick 144.
Yep.
So that was a real shuffle of the decks, and if Tom Hawkins slips like Shador, that will be something very interesting. But the 5 clubs are pretty juiced up. They're pretty excited. Not looking for a Kane Corns, Lee Montagna or Nathan Buckley moment, but what they do, the Carlton Draft initiative, the buses get out. I know I've seen all across the streams in the last couple of years, despite the Nathan Buckley thing we spoke about before. I think a big group went on minibuses up for the day and made a real day of it. So I'd imagine that's going to be very similar for this year's crop.
Yeah, I think so. It'd be a glorious day for all these clubs. Get plenty over the bar and plenty at the canteen, and just all the bodies in the town to get in there. And we might even make an appearance at some of these games.
What I love about some of these clubs, like it could be, some of them could be football, netball, hockey, like it's just the community comes together, it's that social outlet.
So I think the pick is in.
Boys,
let's head up to the
the pick is in. And with pick number 1, the Beaufort Football Club have selected Tom Hawkins.
Yeah, thanks guys. Matthew Pavlich here. Really disappointed that I can't be there.
Guthrie, break it up. Hawkins finds space, and that's usually dangerous. Go long and high. Hawkins, yes, he's got it. Oh, option. He's just going to poke it. Oh, yes, what a mark.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause to the Beaufort Footy Club. Tomahawk, I'll start with you, mate. That's a nice jumper. Obviously been wearing the hoops for a long time, the navy and white. Now to put on the Beaufort Footy jumper, which resembles the Crows. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. It's just the large. I'm probably going to need an XL or double XL, and I'll wear 3X in the shorts. But exciting. Beaufort's literally, I suppose, just up the road from me. So yeah, very exciting.
Boys, firstly introduce yourselves, and then what was behind the decision of picking Tomahawk at number 1?
Well, I'm Nick Frank. I'm the president. Scully made a late run. I loved you, mate, today. To be honest, he was our number 5, but geez, I was impressed with you, buddy.
Okay. That's why.
No, he'd had a few heavy pots.
Well, Nick, if you don't want him, mate, you can have Scully.
I'm a Tommy man. We're a Tommy man through and through.
Take them both.
No, we're a Tommy because we need a key forward. But I must say, having to talk to all the clubs here, we're all country clubs, and this does mean a lot to. We're all farming communities basically, and farms. It's tough at the minute. So for all of the players to come out and they're all farming communities to come out, it means a lot for all of us because it just gives us a bit of a vibe, a bit of an atmosphere, brings people into the club because, as I said, farming communities are really, really struggling. So what Carlton Drafts, and I've drank a lot of Carlton Draft, don't get me wrong. I've drank my fair share and a few others' fair share. So it's about time I got a bit back and our club got a bit back. But it is really, really good that, as I said, they're giving back to these communities. Farming communities, so thanks very much.
Yeah, good. And the captain of the football club?
Yeah, my name's Cormac, and I am the captain, co-captain of the Beaufort Crows, and it's a bit of a privilege to have Tom come play for us. I've been a Cats fan my whole life, and obviously looked up to Tom for a very long time. We do need a key forward. It's what we've been asking for down forward. Our midfield delivery is excellent. Our back half set up excellently, so it's the only real missing piece. Probably one of 2 missing pieces, other than like a gutsy high half forward, maybe, who just plays his role.
Dylan Buckley, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, along the Dylan Buckley.
So I've been shopping for 2. I don't know, Tom. Can we share the field or not? Is it too? You want it yourself, surely?
Oh, I only take up a small portion of it, and that's the goal square. So
we'll take this offline. We'll take this offline, but if the Hawk's happy, we'll see.
I must say,
I'm still shopping around.
2 years ago, we were on the end of the Carlton Draft when Mundy played for Carnham Linton against Beaufort. Cormac took on Mundy, and did you kick 6 or 7 that day?
You had 40 touches and 6 goals.
Yeah. That's good.
So
so you kept him quiet? Yeah, it's good.
Cormac had arms like tree trigs.
Yeah.
And it's about time we got a big back from the Carlton
All right,
Draft.
last one before we move on, because you boys have been great. But where do you see the big Hawk playing? Is he going up forward, traditional, out of the square, or do you want him in the midfield? Do you want him on a wing like Clokey?
Look, he might have to come through the 2s.
Yeah, in the 2s, yeah, okay.
Alex Gerard played pretty well in the 2s on the weekend.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing, Tom, you'll just want to lob forward and kick a few goals and have a few Carlton Draft pots after the game. I'm suggesting that's how it might work.
Yes, yeah, if we can even sneak a couple in just to loosen the rig up before the game.
We could well.
And, yeah, I mean, full forward sounds good.
Yep.
If it's vacant.
Well, Lockie Murray's just come back, hasn't he, our assistant coach? He kicked through it, but we'll sneak you in there somewhere, Tom.
I'm happy Lockie can take the square. I'll go the pocket.
No,
we might need a part
Will we sneak him in, boys? That's our senior side. They look like our under-12 side. That's our senior side.
We might need a part 2 of this, but the Beaufort Footy Club, a big round of applause. Well done, Tom Hawkins. Well done, Nick. Well done, Mark. All right, we're getting into pick 2.
Thank you to the Beaufort Football Club and Tom Hawke. How good was that? What a number 1 draft pick. I'm sure the great man will live up to it. I tell you, Tommy Hawkins going to play for Beaufort. It'll be bigger than the Beaufort Truck Show, as we said before. The next club on the clock in the Carlton Draft is the Colliambly Football Club. You have 10 minutes.
Sunshine when she's gone. It ain't warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. I wonder this time where she's gone. Wonder if she's gone to stay.
So the pick is in. Tom Hawkins goes to Beaufort. Huge. Now, the Beaufort Crows, it's only just dawned on me, and it was mentioned off the camera by Shay, that Geelong Cats, Finley Cats, Beaufort were the Cats, but now they're the Crows. So it's just put an end to the symmetry of what his career has been. He'll actually have to buy a new pair of shorts.
I hope that Tom Hawke hasn't any run-ins with the Crows in history. I can't remember too many famous Geelong Adelaide battles throughout the time.
I'm trying to think who he would have played on back there across his career. A bit of Truck Rutten.
Yes.
For the Crows.
D'Italia.
Yep.
D'Italia.
Yep.
The Truck would have been, I think, his most fearsome battle. But he's worked the room up there. He's gone to pick number 1. I think he's pretty happy with himself. The chest is puffed out. The quads are looking good, and he's going to enter the couch and join us here for a few questions. Here's the number 1 draft pick of the Carlton Draft. Great man, hello.
I did, Tommy. Well done. Congrats.
Give us a look at that jumper, big fella. What are we running there?
Running the Beaufort Crows.
Yeah.
Happy with me there?
Yeah.
A bit further back. Beaufort Crows for the camera. Not bad. 17.
Yeah. They're going to give you the 17?
Not sure. I actually asked the captain up on stage who wears the 26.
Yeah.
And, he told me he did, so I was left it at that. But exciting. Never been number 1. Happy to knock your boy Lids off his perch, and it was good.
They're a bit sheepish up there, Lids, at the moment. But hey, working the room up there, nice. How is the Red Room? How are the clubs? In all seriousness, the initiative of the Carlton Draft, community footy clubs looking to get some ex-AFL stars involved.
Oh, it's so good. Like, I'm a country boy from a country town, Finley, and they've sort of had their fair share of struggles through local footy, and as the president of the Beaufort Footy Club said, it's these places are the heart and soul of these small country towns. So they're a social hub, and footy and netball clubs are really important. So I look forward to going along. They've got a bit of history. Shane O'Brien, as I just found out, the Crouch brothers of Beaufort. People originally, so it's mate, I'm excited. It's a great concept, and really happy to be involved.
And you did play a couple of weeks ago for Finley, so the body's ready.
The body's not like, it's not like fully ready.
It's not ready.
But there's a bit of work to do. Like, maybe there's been 6 or 7 kilos stacked on, but like, who's counting?
Can't tell.
Big shirts.
So
I'm gonna need bigger than the large. But I'll be able to get myself from A to B, and that's from the huddle to the goal square and back and in the shed. So I did play for Finley. I didn't set the world on fire. We won, and hoping to do a bit of the same for Beaufort.
Being a Finley boy, were you secretly hoping you might be picked up by Colliambly, the local hero there as well?
Shout. I had a chat to the Colliambly boys pre-draft, and being Southern New South Welshman, I actually thought that there might have been some sort of connection.
Is there any opportunities for trades up there? Maybe some paper bags? I know how the country footy clubs work, but didn't quite happen.
Yeah, I absolutely never
thought about it.
never had the experience of the brown paper bag.
Nor have I, to be honest. No,
sound-
nor have I. Anyway,
Hang
continue. Collie Ambly.
Yeah, so no, there'll be no brown paper bags. It's all for the love of it.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
it's maybe who knows if it goes well for Beaufort and Collie Ambly are offering.
Yeah, the other track.
Who knows?
You're a one club legend for Geelong, and since retiring, you've played for 2 clubs now, maybe a third if you go to Collie Ambly. We don't use the word mercenary lightly here, but is this now the travelling roadshow of the Hawk? How many clubs can we expect you to get up in?
I was hoping it wouldn't, but I mean, Finley, I've played for Finley Cats, albeit 20 years ago, and now the Crows. But who knows? I don't necessarily feel like I have the bug back for footy, but I really enjoy playing locally. Like there was a guy. So my last game with Finley was in 2005, and there was still a guy, Paul Massingham, that was playing with me in that game. That was still running around, and a mate from school. So I loved my game up in Finley. I've got a 4-week runway or 5-week runway into maybe playing for Beaufort. So it's enough of a pre-season. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hawk, you've been around an inspirational captain, maybe arguably the best captain of all time. You've just met your new captain tonight.
Number 26.
Number 26.
Name?
What is his name?
Yeah. Let me come back to you on that.
You say, yeah, mate, initially, and then you're a good man, you'll get their name. But what are you expecting from your skipper? Like, what do you want? Like, you've obviously had
I don't know. He did. The president said that they played against David Mundy in last year's Carlton Draft, and he had kicks of 6 or 7 and paid 40, which is sort of Michael Barlow numbers.
Yeah, maybe put some work into it. Is the coach still there?
I think he did. I think the captain did. That might have been the issue. But no, I don't know. Like there's a young. Brownie's been into the front row a little bit tonight.
Yeah.
They sort of look like they're 15-year-olds, but it'll be fun to play with young kids, and I'm sure like a lot of local football clubs, there's some sort of 45-year-old that's going to be older than me that's played 1,000 games. So look forward to that.
Well, that's good, and we know you grew up kicking the footy into that little barn window, right? But local footy, community footy, the goalposts are a bit shorter than what you'll get at the G and at GMHBA. Do you feel like you're prepared here? You know, we don't want to see the goal assist culture of the Cats of the last 20 years. Everyone's there, they're going to judge you on how many you put through the big sticks.
Yeah.
What are we thinking? What's the number?
I stupidly started talking myself up over in gather round, and that's never a nice thing to do about that. So I'm honestly like, double digits would be nice. But look, a short goalpost, it doesn't matter. I've full goal umpires before on the biggest stage, and happy to do it again.
Yeah. How's I'll double back to the Finley, and I loved hearing the story about you went back, played 2005 before you got drafted, and guys still playing there to this day. And you touched on it, but how special was it, kind of reconnecting with schoolmates and people from the community, and your parents probably got along, family came from everywhere to have a look?
Yeah, they did. The Finley, we played against Deniliquin, and it was a good Friday game, so it's a big...
local rivalry we call it?
It is, yeah. So it's generally a big pulling game, lots of people from the area, Easter weekend, beautiful time up in the Southern Riverina. My wife is a Denny girl as well, so there was a lot of crossover. So it was sort of, in a way, it was kind of strategically placed. But I think, like, for me and my experience, like, I idolised the senior players when I was growing up. Say, like, when I was 6, 7, 8, 9 type thing, because AFL football was so far from Finley. It was just, I love watching Garrett Senior and Billy Brownless, but it was like, those guys aren't relatable for a kid growing up in Finley that just spends his winters for the most part playing Auskick. So they became my sort of heroes in a way. So I love being able to get back and play, and then remember the times that AFL players came to Finley and the impact they had on me as that young kid.
Who are some of those ones that got...
Matthew Nix and Nick Fosdyke from Sydney one year.
Yeah.
So that was when I was in grade 6, still primary school. I vividly remember Shane Crawford. He's a Finley guy, so Crawford was great with our community. And Billy Brownless from just down the road. I'm not sure so much as a role model.
It's a silo
really,
thing, kicking over. That was the thing. He kicked it over the.
He'll sort of tell you about it, but it's a pretty amazing feat, to be honest. I don't know if you blokes have driven past silos in country towns. Yes, no.
They're pretty big.
They're big. They're big. So it's kind of quite iconic. Don't know if Beaufort's got a silo, maybe. That's something we can
look into.
I've got a rotunda piece.
The rotunda. I don't know if they grow. Oh, they grow a fair bit of grain. It'll be a growing region. So who knows? There might be one there.
And we're just going to throw back up. Hey, Tom Hawkins, pick number 1. Beaufort Crows. Well done, mate. Look forward to seeing you.
On your Hawk.
Thank you.
Well done.
Guys.
Well done, mate.
Good work, mate.
Well done.
There's the chime. Another very special moment in this man's career. Obviously, it's going to be a highlight, especially if you can go to this football club and help get them over the line with a big victory and perform well himself and not embarrass the Carlton Draft brand. With pick number 2, the Colliamberley Football Club have selected Brett Deledio.
Round of applause for the Colliamberley Football Club, ladies and gentlemen, Brett Deledio. Go down, you guys, have a seat.
I love the baggers.
How good, Brett? Pick 2. I know you would have liked to be pick 3, but well done.
Or 1. Yeah, that's all right.
How's the beautiful jumper there, the Blues?
It is, mate. You know what? I was a Blues supporter as a kid, so I've had plenty of these over the journey. I hated the bloke who wore this, though, Andrew Carazzo. He used to knee me and do all sorts of things to me, but...
No. Didn't he used to get the best midfielder? Yeah.
2XL. I reckon I could come down a couple of sizes, though, so we'll be okay, mate, but a bloody good jumper.
Guys, how good's this? Congratulations. Yeah, where is Colliamberley? Talk us a bit about yourself, your roles, names, and how excited you are to land the great Brett to your footy club.
Yeah, Justin Buchanan. I'm the unlucky president. We're about 400 k's north of Melbourne, so we're out in the sticks, but yeah, we love it.
Yeah, I'm Tom Groves. I'm the coach, so yeah.
We love that. Hey?
Hey.
Don't bore us with all the detail.
Exactly.
That's just where they're at, mate.
I thought Beaufort went on for a bit long, to be honest, and I thought
and that's
short, sharp. If you missed it, guys, president, coach, that's about it. Okay, well done. Boys, how are you going down there at the moment? Where do you see the great man fitting in? Are you inside mid? You're the coach. Do you want him on the wing? Do you want him? Where do you want him?
I'll let the coach decide that.
Oh, we might sneak him on there, I reckon, probably wherever he wants to go, to be honest. But
bit of a licence, you reckon? Bit of a licence?
I reckon we could organise that, I reckn.
Sit off bench.
And the number 3 at the moment, he's very particular with his numbers. Is there any chance that we can... Does anyone wear the 3 at
Well, I was number 3 and I couldn't get number 3 this year, so I've taken the 2 3s. So, but I reckon we can organise something. No doubt.
Few
Fantastic.
sheets. We'll work it out.
Brettles, how are you excited, my boy, to
Mate, I
get
can't
down
wait.
there? And
Yeah. I'm passionate about getting back into like country footy. It's close. It's not too far from home. A little bit further north, but I know how hard farmers and people in smaller communities are doing it. How hard they're doing it at the moment. So to give back, mate, it's a fantastic thing. Initiative by Carlton Draft, but also for us to go back, have a bit of fun, sink a few tins, and hopefully get a win on the day. Get a few people through the gate. That's what it's all about.
Now, just quickly, just if you think Brett's going to come down and make friends with people, he's there for business. I played with him actually at the Giants. He doesn't remember that. He doesn't even know that I was there. But I was actually shared the club with him that time. He didn't know that till post-football. So he's not probably going to get to know the lesser likes, just the ones that have the footy. Who's the ones that are going to give him the ball and he'll be happy with them?
Well, to be honest, we only got Brett because we want his brother, Matt. So.
Hey, everything comes at a price. We can get him. Yeah. We can get him.
Nah, good on you guys. Big round of applause for the Collie Ambly guys and Brett Deledio. Good stuff.
Turn it on. No wonder it's not working. Thanks to the Collie Ambly Football Club and Brett Deledio. Well done. Another round of applause. Going to be fantastic there. He's the fittest out of all of them. He's going to go out there and absolutely dominate it. Whether be the midfielder in the forward line, he's going to dominate. The Carlton Draft now continues with the Heathmere Football Club on the clock. You have 10 minutes to make pies.
Can hardly shut Brownie and Dilla. It's not about them tonight, up on stage, and we have had some comments stream through. Reminder, comment on the stream on the YouTube, and we will put them to air. Dylan Buckley channeling his inner Joe Brown with the Lego head look tonight. Has everyone seen that one?
Yes, Dill's been copying a bit of criticism, a bit of feedback around his receding hairstyle.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I think he's a mini-me. Well, Dill wants to be his mini-me.
And without any further ado, this is pretty bloody exciting for me. Pick number 2, Collie Ambly Football Club. Speak about a surprise of the draft.
Ooh.
The Collie Ambly Cats, I feel potentially they may have reached up to 2 to pick the one, the only Footy Friends' own.
Hey, boys! How are you, boys?
Oh, give us a look at that thing, Brett. Give us a look at
the Collie Ambly Blues, mate, not the Blues. Not the Cats.
You're a Carlton fan as a child.
I certainly was, Pato. Yeah, well remembered, mate. So, the only thing I don't like is the Andrew Carazzo, number 44. One of my arch nemesis over the journeys. So I'll be
come over this way, man. I need you hooked in nice and close.
Nice and tight.
Show us the jumper again, big fella.
Yeah, right. Here we go. The Blue Baggers.
The Blue Baggers.
Yeah, very happy with that. Looks good.
Happy. Number 2, you actually, there's a pep in your step. I reckon you're a little bit nervous tonight of the old school grade system where you're standing...
Last one on the wall.
Standing up in front of the wall and you might go number 5. You've got number 2.
Yeah, well... to be expected, to be honest, Mick. I was a bit nervous, but as long as it was either 1 or 3 is what I wanted. Obviously, for those reasons. Pick 2. As long as I wasn't after Scully, mate, I was happy with that.
Yeah. Couldn't get much of a word in there up there on the sportsman panel early.
Scully was he was hot, wasn't he?
He was, mate. But in all seriousness, you played a little bit of, and it works. Tongala with the Blues.
Yep.
Collie Ambly now the Blues. So you played a little bit of footy. Since finishing up there at the GWS Giants. How has your local footy career worked out since retiring?
Well, that's it. I played 2 games last year. I played 2 games a couple of years before that. I swore after the first 2 that I was never going to play again. I couldn't have pulled up sore after that, and I really didn't enjoy myself. But going back I played with my brother and my brother-in-law in those 2 games last year, that was one of the best things I've done in footy, to be honest. I really enjoyed it. We got the win. Got the win both times, to be honest. But
no surprises there.
Not really. The biggest surprise was that come BNF night, I got 1 vote.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I thought I was a bit better than that.
Yeah.
High expectations.
Just one more before I throw you to the lads. We've got the stream going. We've got comments flying through, and just a quick shout out about Boris. Wonder how Boris feels about Brett going at number 2.
No, Boris will be fine. I'm actually going to probably stay at Mum and Dad's night before, so I'll pick him up, bring him up to Collie Ambly, and.
put him in the boot. I'm actually hoping there's a farmer with a boatload of wood, so I can get a little tray load full of wood and I can bring it home with the dog.
Would you run out with Boris?
No, I wouldn't. No, he can't run anymore. No, and he wouldn't hear me if I called him.
With a black armband for Buster.
Oh no, he's done. The dogs, they're on their last legs.
Yeah. Have you ever been to Colliambley before?
Never.
No?
No, I had to check when I looked at all the sides that were there and saw that just north of Jerilderie. So I know I played with a bloke from Jerilderie back in the day.
Give him a shout out. Who is it?
Brycey was his name.
Brycey. Yeah. Josh Bryce?
Luke Bryce, maybe?
Maybe one of them.
Yeah.
We've been just throwing names around now.
Yeah.
So you haven't been there?
I've never been there, no.
Yeah.
So
looking forward to getting up there.
Looking forward to getting
Bloody
up there.
oath.
Hopefully there's a nice couple of beers to be had after the game.
Well, I've got the one pub, the Muddy Duck, and they have happy hour from 4 to 6, $5 Carlton Drafts down at the Muddy Duck.
4 to 6.
Is that what day is that?
That's just before we finish, so maybe if I get subbed out in the last.
I
I
don't think they discriminate with days, Brett. I think you can go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, they want to go there Friday.
You'll be there the whole week.
Pre-game.
Remember I tried to do that thing with you? I said, let's go make a weekend of it. You go, bugger that.
Yeah, wouldn't fault me.
How are they up there, mate? The Red Room, it looks a buzz. You would have met all of the clubs, I'd imagine, but the Colliambley lads, I think you're going to speak fairly fondly of them.
Yeah, just had a good chat with the coach and a couple of the other boys that are playing. They actually know my brother, and they're going to try and recruit him as well to get him up for the day.
Deledio.
I'm not sure that he's going to be too receptive, but I said, everyone's got a price. So we'll see how that goes.
Coach talk roles?
Yeah, wherever I want, a licence.
And what are you thinking?
Licence, similar to my mate Dusty. Just go to stoppage if you want. Don't defend if you don't want to. Take kick-outs if you feel
off the back of the square if
well, the Dill Buckleys, if I get more than 5 touches, which is what Dill got, I'll be pretty happy.
Yeah. You've landed in a good place. Colliambley, out of all the clubs on this list, have had the best start to the year. They've 2 wins.
Pressure on Colliambley, to be honest, bro.
And 1 draw.
Yeah.
Haven't lost yet. All the other teams haven't had.
They're down the back end.
Yeah, so you're in a good spot.
Yeah, no, I have checked I went through all the teams, done my research to find out where they are and how hard it was going to be if I played on certain dates and whatever else. But I think these boys might be okay. From talking to the Prez, they've got a good, not a team of champions, a champion team. A bunch of local farmers and boys.
They've got one champion to join them. They're in the blue, in the 44.
And that's why you want to bring that hard edge. You don't have to tackle the chase the smothers.
We actually were talking in the lead up, and I'm going to have to throw the lads under the bus here. We did Phantom Drafts, Brett.
Where was I?
I went with pick 3.
You had me there.
I think I went with 3. I thought Hawkins. Did I have Hawkins, Pavlich?
Yeah, I think you did.
The Dockers, Ross, all that stuff. But the lads.
He's 55.
Flanners, dare to just disclose where you might have had it?
I had you at 5.
Flanners? Are you serious?
Down the end.
Brett, I had you at 4.
Schofield ahead of me.
Look, I thought these teams are leaking a lot of goals. Key defenders are important. I thought Scully would be really important for one of these teams. But look, I've underrated you.
It'd be remiss of us not to ask the hard questions here in the Red Room. And the main concerns, and you were the hard one to pin down. The concerns are the calves. It's the elephant in the room we have to talk about.
Yes.
The other one is your superior athleticism. Going back to a slower brand of footy, contested style. Does it stand up? You're going to have to go in there, win your own contested ball.
Yeah.
But we've got Trent Cotchin's 27 touches and 4 goals as your pass mark. And I know you're a competitive person.
He was 1 year out. I'm now coming up 5.
I'm hearing excuses early.
6 years out this year. So, I had 30 last year playing on ball in a stronger comp. 25 of those contested. So, I'm not too worried.
So you're confident?
Very.
And anyone, Brett actually is in the player management game. Everyone out there from Colliambley. So, I know when we were at Tongala last year, Brett.
Yes.
We went to Tongala and
played with a young bloke.
All the young lads that thought they were half handy and their parents were making their way.
Young bloke who's going pretty well at the moment, actually, the Bendigo Pioneers, playing big country trials this week. Young Jesse Johnson.
Yeah, and you got a hold of him?
We're in chat.
It's not the word I should have used, the phrase, but in chat's good to hear. That's exciting, Brett. Colliambley, number 44. Who are we playing on the day?
I got no idea.
We'll
work out the logistics.
Who are the other strong sides in the league?
In the Farah League, I think there's some teams just out of Wagga. I haven't done a full deep dive on it, mate, to be completely honest with you. There's a lot of towns that I hadn't heard of. So I haven't spent a lot of time in central New South Wales. as far as I've gone up to Wilcannia, there's a little town up there with...
Bit of mountain biking? Is there good mountain biking up in Coleambally?
Are we allowed to say pig shooting on here? So pig shooting.
Yeah, pig shooting, we can. Just a couple off the stream while I'm getting them. Thought Brett was going to ask, this is Christian, thought Brett was going to ask a farmer for a shotgun there for a second. Would have been the end of Boris.
Could have.
There's some grims. Some grims. And that's Baldy who's the boss of the whole shooting match, so I can say that.
Yes. Nathan
on the live stream said Lid's envisioning 6 goals as a forward flanker or 30-2 as a mid.
Yeah. That's probably about right, I reckon. 6, we'll see how we go.
Yeah. Can we go back, celebrate your career through the Carlton Draft?
Yeah.
I'm thinking blonde tips.
Oh, you want me to bring
and
them
some
back?
flashy sort of Puma style boots. What are we thinking?
I've got some flashy boots. Yeah, which we'll release on the pod.
We're sponsored actually, aren't we?
Yeah.
Hold that.
We'll bring it up on the pod.
That one was too small. I tried them all. Right. Got the laces wrong, but what colour?
I've got a yellow and a white pair, so I'm probably going to go yellow. No, I'll be in yellow.
Yeah. You'd be the first player ever for Coleambally, I think, that changes his boots at half time.
Yeah, well, we'll be.
And 2 freshies.
Yeah, 100%. And donate them back to the club so they can make some money and have a bit of whatever they can do with them. But, mate, I don't think I'll bring back the tips. Yeah. Unless you're going to pay for me to go and get it back.
Well, we'd like that. Maybe that's a footy inference thing we can talk about. The Matrix man, Brett Deledio, get the tips back. Get the girls down.
The girls will come down. The tips will be back. Brett,
my girls won't be.
Thanks for joining. Hey, pick number 2. Well, fuck, I'm out of here. I just swore. I couldn't believe it, but well done. Back up to Johnny Brown, Lego Head, and Dylan Buckley, the Lego Head, up in the red room.
Cheers.
30 seconds. 30 seconds until the Heathmere Footy Club has their selection. There we go. Halfway through the Carlton Draft, and pick number 3's in from the Heathmere Footy Club. How are you feeling, boys? Feeling confident? You'd want to be. You haven't got close to them this year, so I need one of my boys or one of Dill's boys to go down there and get you on the winners list. Without further ado, with pick number 3, the Heathmere Magpies select. I like this one. I can see a few going through the big sticks with Travis Cloke.
Down, gets it to Cloke. He's done it, big trap. Well done. That's his 450 of goal. Back him from here, and he's got it home. Cloke will get the first. Cloke's on the ball.
Goes down towards the attacking 50. Up comes Cloke, gathers on the bounce. It's the ball that drives. Cloke's got a goal. There's a beauty.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for the Heathmere Footy Club. Give us a look at that one, Clokey. That's familiar. Oh, Port Adelaide, the prison bars. Port Adelaide, great club. Yeah. Clokey, how good's this? You guys, yeah. You must be pretty surprised that that Trav slipped to 3. To be honest, I'm really happy for you guys. That's a great pick.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Collingwood, is that working? Just yell out as well. Stoked. Collingwood, no, that's what we're after. Come and wear the Collingwood colours. It's not Port Adelaide, even though it's got the prison bars. But Victorian for Collingwood.
Talk us through names and roles, boys, as well. What's the involvement at Heathmere?
So I'm Smurf or Nick. Yeah, it's working now. Yep. Yeah. I'm Smurf. Nick, my real name. I'm the senior coach at Heathmere, and this is Casey.
Yeah, and I'm the president, and Smurf's also our football manager. He sort of forgets that from time to time.
Many hats, mate.
Talk us through the season this far. So, how many wins this year, and where do you see? Do you like him on the wing, or are you more up forward?
So win-wise, we're actually 0-3 at the moment. We've had 2 years, 3 years ago, we lose by 100, 200 points. On the week, and we just lost by 30 against one of the top sides.
So we are getting on the
Growing,
move.
mate. We're getting there.
Green shoots.
We are getting on the move, but we do need a prime ball mover. So
That's me, mate. Prime ball mover.
Get up around the footy, and that's where we need you.
Mate, I only kick around 3,000 balls a week now at work, so they're not straight through the sticks, they're around the ground, so perfect.
We can work with anything. As long as you got the footy in the hands, we'll be laughing. On ball, that's good.
What about the rule of the glove? Can we make sure we can get that approved?
Can we get the glove?
Well, we can sort that out.
I get a medical exemption. I've got bad fingers.
I had to wear a glove when I dropped my finger off, so we're all over it.
Fuck.
You can wear my old glove.
I'm not cutting my finger off to wear the glove.
Who's the arch rival of the Heathmere Footy Club? Who are we hoping?
Darrow.
Yeah, we hate them. Yeah, we hate them. Yeah, we hate them. All right, well, hopefully we get him up there.
Or Cavendish or Dartmoor or any other clubs.
We don't like anyone up there, mate.
Cloke as well. Talk us through football. You're obviously working with the Dons at the moment. You're still competitive though with the boys, aren't you? Playing as a backman on a few of the guys or a forward. What's
I've
going
got
on?
to teach a few of these boys how to mark, mate. Obviously, that's the one thing I could do well when I played. So Benny Mackay, Ridley, Peter Wright, Nate Caddy, I kind of go 1-out-1 versus those guys. And every so often, Mick Hurley I work with as well, and we pull the glove out as a bit of a reminder to these young pups that we've still got it. So yeah, we get a bit sticky and a bit competitive, and let's just say I've taken a few more marks than Pete has this year, and I remind him most days.
Well, it wouldn't be hard to take more than Ben Mackay, so we'll move on. No, that's not you, that's me. Good on you, boys. Hey, I'm really excited for this. Genuinely, I think you've got an absolute steal here at pick 3, so I'm very excited for the Heathmere Footy Club. And as you mentioned, not just good for the footy club, but the whole town. I'm sure a lot of people will come out, need a good game, need to get some people through the gate, which will be huge. So good on you, Heathmere. Love yous.
Thank you.
Well done.
Look out, careful there, boys. Thank you to the Heathmere Football Club, the Mighty Magpies. Looking forward to that in June or July, I'm sure, at some stage. Now, the Carlton Draft now continues with the Beverley Football Club now on the clock. You have 10 minutes, folks.
Flanner's just had to grab a sausage roll. We're just about to jump back on and got a little bit peckish, the big fella, but the pick is in for number 3. Travis Cloke goes to the Heathmere, very, very, very well-named Mears, who aren't going so well this year, Flanners.
No, well, they've lost every game by over 100 points.
Yeah, 0-3 over 100.
They conceded over 100 points 9 times last year, and 11 times they kicked less than 3 goals.
So both ends,
tough gig.
we've mentioned both ends under siege in defence. Can't really get it in their forward line. The midfield,
no.
At the moment they don't have one. So where is Cloke going to play? We'll ask all the hard-hitting questions about that on the couch. But pick number 3, what do you think, Peter?
Bit of smear on the Heathmere name there, but pick number 3, Trav Cloke, mate, big bustling forward. That's what you want in local footy. You know, just lift your eyes. Don't stuff around with those little short 45 stuff. Get it in quick. You got a 1-on-1 deep ahead of the ball. Let Trav do his thing.
We're looking to link up with Luke Driscoll in their 1 win last year against Branksholme Wallasdale. They won by 4 points, and Big Luke kicked 2 goals.
So it was
Twin Towers.
Yeah, it was a low scorer.
Low scorer, Luke, double digits, and was influential in the win. Heathmere would be stoked to have big Travis Cloke. I'm hearing the glove is making an appearance. So ballpark figures in terms of if signed by Travis Cloke. Interested to see what number. I actually didn't see upstairs in the red room what number he ended up with, but the signed Travis Cloke glove goes for how much?
That's
at
huge.
a pinch?
Well, there's a lot of Collingwood fans out there, very loyal, big club, big supporter base. So that's a huge draw card getting Trav Cloke. So, if he plays well, it's got to be 4 figures, doesn't it?
We take as a given.
$1,000 minimum.
I think Dylan Buckley boot, and he didn't play well, and he played 41 games at top level, went for 4 figures. Toura last year.
Okay, so it's probably
So the market is there, so I'm talking 5. Flanners, what do you think?
Could be 5.
We ask Flanners a question sometimes, he's still thinking about the sausage roll. But what that means for our 4th and 5th pick, the 2 WA clubs, which I'm a bit disappointed in being a Fremantle player from back in the day, that the Fremantle player and Pav slid, hasn't he? The t-shirt in his to camera piece has really left him down the bottom end of the draft.
Those alarm bells would have been ringing, I think, when they saw Pav in that shirt.
You got to rock up.
Yeah.
You got to be here.
Yeah. You don't want to invest the money, invest the pick.
Yeah. And here he is, without further ado, sorry to jump in, Paddle. We've got Travis Cloke, pick number 3 in the draft. Here he is, big fella.
How are you, mate? How are we?
Hey, Trav.
Hello, mate.
Mate, pick number 3, right wedged in the sandwich of the draft, in behind Deledio, which we're all a little bit disappointed by.
Mate, well, I think everyone was just hoping Lids would slide a bit further down the line, but
pull that in here, big fella. We're not going to get nice and intimate in the.
That's the way we like it, don't we?
In the on the panel here. Yeah, so you've slid to 3, you feel?
Mate, I'm not slid, mate. I reckon I've been increased. I'm really happy with it, mate. To be honest, I've never been through this draft situation, so I was super pumped just to have a bit of a laugh and giggle. But I'm kind of blown away with 3,
Yeah, 3.
Mate, no way, Pav, I get starstruck through that guy. He's like God to me.
Yeah.
And I was flat, he wasn't here. I was looking forward to getting a happy
play
snap.
with him, and I was like, catch up for a while.
Not about you, mate.
True.
I wanted a happy snap with Pav so I could show me kids. Look at this guy, this legend. But I'm going to have to superimpose it or fly to Perth to get a photo with Pav.
Nah, you'll find it.
Well, Trav, now, mate, you've been playing a little bit of local footy in the North Central Footy League
last year I played a few games, mate.
Yeah, for Nully or?
Yeah, for Nully, and they're fucking big. Sorry,
Yeah.
they're really big grounds up there, mate.
Yeah.
So I
space.
got out of the 50 because let's be honest, my goal kick has never been good, and I don't practice it at all.
Big moments, eh?
Yeah, had moments. When you have 7-8 shots on goal, you work on rationale. You're going to kick at least 3 or 4. And that was what was happening last year. I remember going up there kicking 2 goals 5, 3 goals 6. I'm just like, jeez. Got the marking down, Pat. Just kick it to me on the wings, I'll kick it into someone else. So I had old mate Farmer, who's been running around in Richmond and Port Adelaide up there. Mitchie Farmer, and he was in the goal square, and I just potted me him all day. And
You didn't know his first name there for a bit, did you?
No, I didn't. I forgot that one. Mitchie's also lost a lot of hair, mate. He's a little bit different. And I haven't gone back.
To be fair to you, he didn't play much at the top level.
We bonded last year, but I haven't been back this year to play any games, so no teammates out the window.
Flanners, what do you got for big Clokey?
Well, you're going to Heathmere, and they've struggled in the past couple of years. They've lost.
Yeah, I just found this out, mate.
11 games last year, they lost by over 100 points and kicked less than 3 goals for the day. So, are you going to bring something for them?
You might be playing fullback.
Well, if we're not going to score, there's no point sitting in the goals, is there? So we'll get on there. No, I was just chatting to the boys upstairs. They said they got within 30 points last week, which is a great result for them. And that was one of the top tier teams. So 2 years ago, they were averaging 200-point losses. Last year, 100. This year, 30.
Okay.
Mate, to be honest, I'm in a win-win situation. If we win, I look like a rock star. If we lose by 50, still not a bad result.
Is there a chance you go there and, 30-point losses, we're building a culture, building a club, that you might stay on for actually if we start to push into the win-loss?
It's a bit of a hike to get there from where I live, don't get me wrong. But hey, never say never.
Would you say there'll be no smoke and shadows behind the windows with tripping Travis Cloke? That's a comment. That's a comment, sorry, off the screen.
Someone shared that with us. Possibly, who knows, It's one of the greatest comments. I still get that sent to me all the time from friends. I was at the Essendon, where I work today. I walk into an office, it's getting played on the screen today. So it still gets airtime. There'll always be smoky shadows behind the windows, behind something else. One of the greatest things.
There will. But you did mention off the top in terms of, and you can tell your exuberance and excitement actually just being involved in the Carlton Draft initiative. Talk to us a bit about your involvement and what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Over the last few years, you see this, you see the players and the calibre of players also. I'm no realisation, I'm no superstar. I just love the game of footy and being blessed to be a part of it for so long. But to see some of the guys previously, and as I said before, a bit starstruck with Pav and to be alongside these guys. So I'm excited for that. But of the main thing of giving back to community, we all play footy for so many different reasons. I live in the country of Yarra Valley now and be a part of that country football. We're going to go out the opposite side of the state to be a part of it and to see it. But in these communities that have been struggling, it's just north of Portland where I'm heading. It's going to be beautiful to see the different part of Victoria that I haven't seen. But also speaking upstairs, what it's going to mean to that community, bringing people from wide and far. It's a game of football, but at the same time, it's just the way we socialise here in Victoria. And obviously, Carlton Draft's doing amazing things to get around it.
They absolutely are. You mentioned, remind me, when did you finish up retire?
17, mate. It's been a while.
17, and since you mentioned a little bit at Essendon now tomorrow night, Kangaroos versus the Bombers. I'll be on the bench there for the Kangaroos working some.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll be yelling
I'll be
things over
big,
I'll be running in pink, mate. Don't you worry about that.
Daniel Cross you'll be up against tomorrow night. Remember Daniel Cross?
I saw him actually. He's looking very fit.
This is way off script here, but as a runner in the AFL, I've always wondered this.
Do I train?
No. But runner v runner. You know, you get before the game. You're like,
not me, definitely. No. But I have heard within the runner ranks, there is a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that actually runs past and give the other runner a bit of a tap on the arse. Yeah, it's because at most of the clubs you kind of cross paths maybe if you've done it before, but some of them are past players and you cross paths. And the reality is, being a runner is the weirdest job in football. You listen to the coach scream down his headphones and you're trying to dissect if that's a message to share or if he's just venting or if you're sitting there going, gee, my psych for the next 2 hours, who knows. So, no, I look forward to seeing like who the other, obviously, runner is in the opposition. And sometimes it's just a great way to catch up.
I want to see a Telstra tracker of the runner v runner. Crossy's probably got you covered, I'd say.
He would definitely get me covered. I only average like 7-8k game, which breaks down to what, 1.5 to 2k's a quarter. But now there's limitations. Back when we were running around, the runners out there bloody 40, 50 times. Tag it's even. Now it's 4 times goals. I still don't know the rules of what the runner does. I wait for the lady on the side of me to tap me on the shoulder and tell me when to go.
Enough's enough,
But no, it's good fun.
Trav, I've heard at Heathmere there's a rat pack of young blokes. Love, you know, they go hard on field, off field, cause a bit of trouble. You've obviously had a bit of
the rat pack
experience of the rat pack. How will you deal with them?
Well, sometimes you stay away from it, sometimes you just invite them as well. They're normally the best people, they're the good culture of the footy club on and off, but every footy club has this culture of like play hard, work hard. It's nice to see they're still happening.
And Heathmere's no different.
They're no different.
It's no different. You'll be staying tonight, I imagine. It's
a big trip for a day one, so I reckon I'll be there either the night before or night after.
Or both.
It's a weekend getaway, mate. Take the family away, mate.
What is the family operating at the moment?
I've got 2 young kids. Got a 4-year-old little fella Archer and a 7-year-old daughter. Married 7 or 8 years. Living on the farm in the Yarra Valley, mate. So the family is quiet. Working the Bombers.
The commute in from the Yarra Valley, how's that?
It's a bit of a trek. It's around an hour on a good day, but love where you live, mate.
That's it. Love where you live and you love your family. I got 2 kids as well, but sometimes being in the car on your own is pretty good.
I enjoy the quiet time. Don't you worry about that. No phone calls, radio off, and just sit like this, like a serial killer. It's beautiful.
And how's the family? I know I heard this again the other day that your brother Cam's still playing.
Cam's still running around. So he did have a couple of years off. He got hit a few years ago, and he had many concussions playing footy. So Cam's playing for Wallen this year with a few mates, and it's like Div 2, Div 3, bit of fun. And the older brother Jace lives in Queensland, and he's running around playing Masters. He was last year, so unsure if he's going around this year. I haven't really followed his footy program.
Going to have to jump up because Brownie is up. Div 3 is over to Big 4. Sorry, guys.
No. Used to be a trainer for the Mighty Lions. And yeah, Bruno. You can have a beer with Bruno later on. He'll have a beer with all of you. He's going to enjoy himself here for a couple of days. Got a couple of lay days away from the farm. That's right, I agree. Good on you, Bruno. With pick number 4, the Beverley Football Club have selected Matthew Pavlich.
I'll do the boys, good on you, boys. Congratulations to the Beverley Redbacks. Matty Pavlich. There's a video.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Stoked to be staying here in Western Australia and being picked up by the Beverley Football Club. Cannot wait to get down there and experience what the guys and the whole club's about. I'm very nervous about playing my first game of footy in over 9 years now. So I've been training with my 3 kids who all play footy at the local footy club. But I know that's probably not enough. I'm going to have to put in some extra yards and put in some extra training ahead of the game. But hoping I can do the Redbacks very proud when I do get down there. And I coined a term called Wharfie time. That's still getting a run at the Dockers, so it might be Redback time at some point. Well, I never thought I'd say this, but I cannot wait to don the red and black. Up the Redbacks.
There you go. I'll tell you what, he's going to put his defender to sleep because that was exciting. That one. Well done. No, good stuff, Pav. He's a big man. He's a great man, and obviously a Fremantle absolute superstar. Boys, you must be excited to get him down to the club.
Oh yeah, really, really excited to have him down there. Is Pav here or not? No, he's not here.
He's in pre-season. He's getting ready for the boys.
Someone zoom him and tell Pav that he's playing for the Beverley Redbacks and all.
Yeah, he knows. No, he's pumped.
Beautiful. Oh,
yeah,
he's pumped. Oh,
he's pumped about it.
So are we.
Yeah.
We're actually
names and roles, boys. What's going on here?
Yeah, I'm Blake Amar, president of the Beverley Football Club, so ecstatic. All the other clubs have played into our hand here, so trying to save on airfares here, so Pavlich is an easy choice for us. Mum would be proud Dockers supporter, so it'd be a good draw crowd for the Beverley Football Club. Obviously, a lot of Freo supporters around where we are and everything like that, so yeah, look forward to it. So there's, we'll get them on the players' chat. There's canteen rolls that need to be fit, so we've got them there. Like everyone knows with the country football, obviously there's canteen, there's boundary umpiring, everything that needs to be done. So we'll look forward to seeing him running water and everything else in the resi. So be a good fit for him. But I think our goal is we'll play him out of position. You know, he might be playing as a young rover or something like that, or maybe in the full back or something like that. So yeah, we'll see how he goes.
Good. And your role, captain?
Yeah, captain and Magoo's coach.
Wow, that's Jewel.
That's you. There you go. Nothing to be scoffed at.
Yeah.
It's a hard role, and obviously we're all volunteers, so we had to take the role for a free flight and piss and accommodation over from WA. So some people have to do this sort of stuff, and it's like it's a hard burden on some people. So yeah.
Good on you, boys. Obviously a great club, great culture, and you two are absolute characters already. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully you're getting a smile out of the Pav, and we can have a good time. And
tell them to smile. Is that contractual or not? Does he have to smile?
We'll read the dots. We'll cross the T's. But yeah, we've got the hand. It is.
Smile?
Yeah, he's got to smile at least once.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
done. We're done. Beautiful.
That'll be good. Make sure you get a photo. Anyway, well done. Well done, the Redbacks. Good on you, boys.
Well, how good was that? Thank you to the Beverley Football Club Redbacks. And I'll tell you what too, big round of applause for all the boys and gals making their way over from WA for the evening. How good's that? And make sure you catch up with Brutus later on. Brutus! Big Bruno, obviously it brings us to a close for the evening. There's one more pick though. There's one more pick. So with just one pick remaining, I've decided to kibosh the 10 minutes. I think we can all work it out. I know we want to sit here and marinate and work it out, but with great excitement, I announce with pick number 5 and the final pick of the Carlton Draft for 2025, hailing from Geelong, all the way from the West Coast Eagles, Will Schofield.
Schofield doing a lot of running himself, hanging it now off half, keeping it low. What a play by Schofield.
Brooks goes down the line to the wing. Set up for Schofield.
Well done.
Fucking how good's this?
All right. Oh, quick photo. Take a movie if you like. Let's go.
Well done. Congratulations to Hill End Footy Club. Geez, there's some good representation up there at the back too, so big round of applause. You must be absolutely wrapped. The Heathmere thought that they'd played into the hand of the draft, but obviously you've really won here. You've actually got Scully with a late pick.
Fucking hell.
We have. Oh, we've come home with the chocolates. To be honest, we
Fucking oath you have.
I gotta be brutally honest. Like, we didn't have Scully's pick number one. We didn't have his pick number one.
No, they did. No one did.
As soon as I walked in that door and I saw him holding a pint of delicious Carlton Draft,
Yeah.
I thought, that's our man.
Yeah, good. Very good.
Which is surprising. Thanks, Dad. I appreciate that. I've got 3 dads here. Look at them all. Dad's up the back. G'day, Dad. Thanks for bringing us along. Appreciate that.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun. Where's the club at the moment, Gus? Where he's gone? What are you, the coach?
Nah, president.
Yeah, good on you.
Yep.
He's a centre half forward, Dill.
Let's not get into the specifics, mate. What do you just get on with it?
Where's it? We've lost our closest game was 6 points, and last week we nearly lost by 100. So, yeah, we need Scully there.
Yep.
You know, he's a backman, but I reckon he can play up forward. I reckon.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Or maybe ruck.
I spoke to the senior coach last night, and he was pretty adamant that whoever we drafted has to play in the ruck. So,
No worries. Done. I'm a versatile player.
You're a role, mate. You've done it your whole career. Premiership player. You do whatever it takes for your teammates, and I think this will be no different.
Yeah, I agree with that, Dill. I'm actually the most dropped player in AFL history, so...
Well, apart from Dill.
Look, apart from Dill. No.
You got to get a game to get dropped, so it's sort of hard.
Look, so I was a backman, but I played as a ruck in the waffle after I was delisted, so that was good. Broke my back as a ruckman, actually, which was fun. I am looking forward... Hill End, right. Hill End have come out here, and I appreciate everyone else coming, but Hill End have bought their whole fucking team.
Yeah, no, they've done well.
They have got here with the team. They know I'm the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
Right, so the number 1 for me was Travis Cloke. He's running. He's with an AFL team. He's the number 1 sort of draft pick. But if you're thinking about banter and culture...
You want Pav, right?
You want...
Yeah. You want... Yeah.
You want... Not Pav. You want Scully.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Thank God we got here. Because I tell you what, there's not a lot of accomplishments in my career, dude.
No, mate, you're underselling
Just
yourself.
like you.
No, well...
Oh, you're right. I have a premiership.
That's probably fair. No, my dad's got 3. My dad's got 3, so...
Your dad does have 3, and my dads are up here. I've got 3 of them.
In all seriousness, before we finish up, it's a big one for you too, mate. With Backchat, you've got a massive community over there, so a massive... big one for you guys to really get around the Hill End Footy Club, and hopefully a lot of supporters get down there too.
So what I'm excited about, Beverly, disappointingly you've taken Pav, right? That's your choice, not mine. But I'm a Victorian, and my mates, I've already ordered the minibus. We are coming to Hill End. We've got the hotel sorted. Motel? Do you have a motel? What are we talking?
Can you bring a swag?
Cow patty.
What's the pub called at Hill End?
The pub's called the Tipsy Heifer.
I'll see you at the fucking Tipsy Heifer.
All right.
And accommodation is Swags on the cricket pitch.
Swags to the cricket pitch sounds right up my alley, fellas, and I reckon you've got the number 1 draft pick right here.
Good on you guys. Well done, Scully. I think you're going to be an absolute star. Hey. Before Brownie comes to wrap it up, just want to say a massive thank you on behalf of the Recruiter. I think I've done a very good job this year picking this fine crop.
Well done, Dylan.
Thank you. And good on you, footy clubs. I'm looking forward. No, I'm looking forward. I think I'm going to both it. Brown paper.
Excuse me. What about Hillen? What about the Tipsy Heifer?
Good on yous. Round of applause and big thank you to everyone involved tonight. And major thank you. Get around Carlton Draft for putting some amazing initiative on. Good on you guys. Cheers.
How good was that? How good? That brings the evening to a close. Well, not obviously the bar. The bar's going to be still open. Another round of applause for Hill End and Grove Football Club. The Beverley Football Club. The Heathmere Magpies. The Colliamberley Football Club. And the mighty Beaufort Football Club. Beautiful. I'm pretty sure Tipsy Heifer ran second in the Cox Plate last year too. Oh, yeah, back to the nose, unfortunately. Now I'm going to invite each player. Big round of applause for all the boys. Brett Deledio, Tom Hawkins, Travis Cloke, and Will Schofield. And a big round of applause for the Sporting Club. This beautiful establishment's looked after us tonight. I'm waiting for him to last. Thanks to the Sporting Club. You've absolutely been magnificent for supporting this great event, the Carlton Draft, that concludes the formalities. But before we do, all the best to all the clubs and all the best to the players. Dill, I'm pretty confident that we've assembled our best list ever. They'll go out and they'll do us proud, the Carlton Draft. They'll dominate for the footy clubs. I'm going to guarantee it now. We are going to win every game this year. And last but not least, a big thank you and a big round of applause for the man that made this night happen tonight, my chief recruiter, my right-hand man, my left-hand man, my everyday man, Dylan Buckley. The bar's open till 10 o'clock, so hang around, have a few beers, enjoy yourselves. Thank you. Enjoy your evening.
Back, and that was something. I just saw pick 5 become pick 1 in terms of the onstage presence. So
Fan love.
Will Schofield, well done. Great colours, by the way. They've done really well in terms of who they've picked up and the quality of person. And I think they're pretty happy with their pick as well.
Well, I did say I thought he might go a little bit higher in the draft because of what he brings off field, and he certainly showed that on the stage.
Yep, I think culturally, Will has just shown then that he's all in, he's going to buy in.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get that emotive response from the group. So, you know, like, they probably sit there and think, you know, we've got the raw end of the stick here with, you know, the last pick. We didn't get the big names. But he's a premiership player.
He's a premiership player.
He's a media juggernaut.
He's got a jumper on already.
He's a West Australian as well.
Potentially might play this week. He might stay here and actually. But I think Hill and Grove have got a player for the long term. But no, I really appreciated what he did on the stage because let's be honest, when Brett Deledio was up there with Brownie, it was like he was already ready to play 8 weeks out. It was Richmond Brett back when Richmond were finishing 9th, really serious in front of the cameras, and Will Schofield really opened all of that up for us. Will is going to join us on the couch in a matter of moments, and we'll get to the bottom of all the big questions in terms of the upcoming game for Hillmere. The
Rovers.
The Rovers. Yes, that's correct. The jumper just strikes me, Flanners. the jumper, the green and gold, there's something about it.
Yeah, I think more clubs should adopt the green and gold. I'd love to see an AFL team. Well, we might see Tassie adopt a bit of green and gold.
Yep. A hill and end in a grove. It's an interesting
So
name.
the merge happened, and just quickly remind us in terms of
what happened there?
how they're going this season.
They're not going particularly well, the old Hill End Rovers. Just give me a moment here. There we go.
I think here they're last on the ladder at the moment.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
They
There's
lost-
always room for growth.
They had a 32%
that's
percentage
right.
last year, lost it by over 100.6 times. So,
And Scotty
wooden
was
spoon.
asking on stage just around the accommodation. I think he was wondering where the hotel might have been. But
Swags on the
will be
cricket
rolling
pitch.
out.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah. But he's here.
And he's
Here he is.
here, he's ready, and I think he's been the best performed on stage. I think he's going to be the best performed after hours as well. They've got an absolute ripper here in terms of what he can provide on the field, because the defence is going to have to hold up.
Let's go.
On the field, he's looking forward to it as well. It's good to see us go.
Mate.
An absolute
Well done.
pleasure. Can I swear here? I will be.
You will.
Yeah.
I will be, whether I can or not. Burger, got to be honest, very nice.
Not bad. The moisture?
Have I got stuck in? Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Am I over, shout out to my beautiful wife and my kids. Have I had a break from them? Yes, I have. Have I had a few beers? Yeah, I have.
And that's exactly what this is all about. And you're going to get another opportunity for a few beers, a bit of separation from it, which we love being with the family.
Can I ask you a question before you ask me? Has anyone come down here in their jumper?
No, it was
right. So the instant it was given to me, I was in my jumper.
Yeah.
You'd respect that, Nick.
Well, I thought, and being a rookie pick myself, low in the draft, I thought whichever club,
no one wanted that.
whichever club gives me the fucking chance, I'll die for that club. And I have that feel that you're going to die for this club.
Hill End were absolutely over the moon to get me.
I'm seeing
in the last pick of the draft. Pavlich, no. Cloke, no. Deledio. Do you think anyone actually wanted Deledio? Yeah. Like, seriously. Has he been on here?
He's
been on.
I mean, seriously.
He's already prepping for the game in 4 weeks.
Mate, he hasn't had a drink in fucking 6 weeks. Sorry, trust me.
Yeah.
Deledio hasn't had a drink in 6 weeks and he's prepping now. He's up to an ice bin.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Scotty's having a beer and a beer.
Lego head Buckley's just in behind the cameras there.
Is he wearing his dad's suit?
That's the worry though. You're going back to local footy. Deledio's the athlete. He needs the game fast, but you need blokes that are prepared to play with a bit of heart. Put the jumper on and go in and give it their all. And I reckon they've got a great.
Where
move.
I'll sit is I don't think you get worse than Kane Corns.
Yeah.
So he's had 4 to 6 touches, has he? Was it 4 or 6?
You don't want to tag up.
119 point loss.
Dill's had 4.
I had 16. 16 for
I saw Dill's highlight package. Saw a lot of tackles.
Yeah.
A lot of smothers, which I love.
Yeah.
As a backman.
Yeah.
But
Pressure
if I'm
on the ball.
but I'm the first backman to do this. Apparently Alex Rance has done it. No one can remember it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Hill End.
Yeah. For the town.
I'm excited for Hill End.
The economy.
The Tipsy Heifer.
The
keen to get up
Tipsy
there?
Heifer is the pub where I'm bringing up my mates from Geelong. Got a minibus.
Michael Rockefeller, we're going to make an appearance.
Rockefeller will be there. James Ratcliffe.
Oh, a couple of
So
weapons.
the boys will be on the minibus on the way up. Hill End, we're staying at the Tipsy Heifer. Yeah. Honestly, the boys up Hill End have brought their whole team. They're upstairs. They're running amok. And luckily, they've got me.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't want Pavlich.
No.
Have you had him? No, he's not here, is he?
Pavlich, camera. He looked down the barrel. In somewhere, maybe Scarborough.
Dill was very critical of him.
Yeah.
Like stiff as a board.
Fancy shirt that he had on.
Yeah, it was. And I'm not sure where he was doing that. I mean, you're a former teammate.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I've had my words down the camera too, Pav. But if he came and looked me in the eye, I would backtrack like it. Hey, off the comments on the live stream, we're getting a lot of comments, and none have blown up more than when you got on stage.
Yeah.
And took it apart, really.
So
I will get to some comments, but you go.
So coming here, if you just pause that. Coming here, I knew I was the worst player by a long way.
Did you?
Brett Deledio, gun.
You're a premiership player.
Cloke, I'm a premiership player. Cloke, gun. Towed me up regularly as a player. Pavlich towed me up regularly as a player. Hawkins towed me up regularly as a player. So, I knew coming here I was the worst player here. Yeah. But what I do know is I can provide ultimate value in off ground.
Are you already a good teammate to these boys in the Green Gox?
I've
the stream.
I've met Macca, I've met Timmy, I've met Jimmy.
Lads, well, I got Ned Bain off the stream asking, can you get Scully? He already feels a connection. Can you get Scully? Can you ask Scully if he can get me back into the seniors?
Yeah, I will make it happen. I will make it happen. The boys thought they drafted at fullback. Nah, not a fullback anymore.
I was going to ask you about that because I thought, obviously if the team's struggling, intercept marks, you hold the fort, rebound, but I don't think anyone in the Carlton Draft has actually gone into the ruck. I reckon you could go into the ruck, put your body on the line.
The boys reckon they need a ruck.
And then you swing your forward,
but
and
the thing is, you
could do it
you
all.
don't need to put your body on the line. You just
craft.
A bit of craft.
Yeah.
Centre bounce.
With the angles.
Centre bounce. How about this?
Yeah.
Someone does the centre bounce. Yeah. Knees up, shin pads on. I come and ruck around the ground.
Grappling.
Okay.
With a bit of body.
I reckon I did that against you. Freo West Coast. I promise, fifth man in, you were fifth man in.
Yeah. Cop the spray off Ross.
You won the Glendenning Allen medal.
It still got the spray.
and I played on you. That went well.
It did.
Are you running the show here?
I am.
What are you boys doing?
Flanners, you got anything for...
What are you boys doing here? Are these boys involved in this show?
I was going to say, you said you were going to be the last pick player in the draft. I actually didn't have you there in my phantom draft.
Yeah. At all?
No,
No, we had you higher.
Fucking hell, that's a bit stiff. Flanners. Mate, there's 5 blokes getting picked, you have me at pick 7.
No, I had you above Brett. Actually, I thought
you had me ahead of Brett or below Brett?
I had you ahead of Brett. I thought.
Oh, I have myself above Brett.
Well, because there's some teams here who are leaking some goals and need to.
So what's Brett going to do?
Well, that's.
What's he actually going to do?
He's got a bit of a persona about him, Brett.
Persona? Is he here?
Yeah, the
persona.
The hair. The tan.
The tan.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
You're not a bit weathered, but Brett.
Can we speak about, while we're on the live stream, can we speak about in the West Australian?
Yeah.
They would regularly put Michael Barlow photos up.
Yeah.
And given that you and I know each other very well, I reckon every 3 weeks they'd have a Michael Barlow photo in.
Yeah.
Are you like Barney Stinson reverse, that you've never had a good photo taken of you? Ever?
Shocking.
Like literally, I would text you every 3 weeks and say, mate, what's happening here? Where's the guts hanging out, the jumpers hanging up, the mouth's slurred, the eyes are slouched.
One day I broke my jaw in a game on a Sunday, and then by Tuesday I was at training.
Broke your angel?
No, I reckon a player that we played against, I won't name his name, deliberately did it.
Who?
Targeted.
Deledio.
No, his name was Scott Thompson from North Melbourne, actually. Got me, bang. But the Tuesday I was out there, and they put it in the West Australian, they're ruthless. They ran that. Hey mate, on a serious note, to wrap all this up,
I've taken it.
No, it's been tremendous. But you've been a great ambassador for the Carlton Draft initiative,
and for the
Carlton Drive, Hills End and Grove. They've actually merged in recent times.
Not worried about the Grove. It's just about the Hills End at the moment.
That's where it'll be. Give us what are you genuinely looking forward to? Because you're going to jump on the plane, come back, don the green and gold, and get to work.
I'm looking forward to Flanners asking me a good question.
All right, give him another go.
To be honest,
he's got a good
one. Pleasure.
All right, you've taken on all the best forwards of the past 20 years. How are you going to handle lining up with some 90-kilo dairy farmer saying, I'm going to take down the
I promise you, Flanners, I will not be playing in the back line. Can you imagine me a Tom Hawkins-esque sort of guy?
Yeah.
10 goals kicked on me? Like, it'd be Kane Corns like. You'd never recover.
Yeah.
Like, how's Cornsy throwing out? This is live, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cornsy throwing out cheesy ball. Cornsy had 4 touches in Avo footy. Kane, you've absolutely shut it up.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Flanners had it.
I was going to say which media figure talks the most garbage, but you just
Dylan Buckley. Dylan Buckley.
Hey, we're going to have to wrap it up because we have got a heart out. Brett's already left.
You don't have a heart out. It's a live stream. You don't have anything. You don't have anything, mate. This is just literally whatever you want.
Hey, it might be 4 p.m. in Perth, but we're running into the wee hours.
So you have to go home. That's not a hard out.
Yeah.
A hard out means you've got somebody else to go to. A hard out is somebody else to go to. This is a live stream. Once it ends, it's done.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wrap it up with the out, and then if you want to sit here and keep drawing the camera, that concludes tonight's live stream. You can catch the replay on Clubby Sports. Will Schofield's been absolutely amazing. The YouTube page has been blowing up. Follow our social channels for coverage of the Carlton Draft matches this season. Best on ground in terms of the draft, lads?
Scully.
Pav.
Who's worse on? Who's
Good luck
worse
to all
on?
the Carlton drafters.
Who's worse on?
Probably Dylan, Jono Brown, I thought. They're just off the top. Dylan, Jono, up each other's arms.
Sum up country footy in one word, Scully.
Good. I was going to say shit. Can't say that.